when LeBron James walked through the empty Staples Center at midnight on December 15, 2018, he had no idea his life was about to change forever. The arena was dark and silent. Everyone had gone home after the Lakers' victory over the Houston Rockets. LeBron just needed to grab his phone charger from the locker room. But then he heard something that stopped him cold. The sound of a man crying. Not quiet sniffles. Deep, painful sobs that echoed through the empty hallways. The kind of crying that comes from a broken heart. Most people would have kept walking. Most people would have minded their own business. But LeBron didn't walk away. He followed the sound down a dark corridor, past the locker rooms, past the loading dock, until he found a small janitor's closet with the door half open. Inside sat Marcus Chen, a 52-year-old janitor still wearing his work uniform. His face was buried in his hands. Tears streamed down his cheeks. In one hand, he clutched a crumpled medical bill with red letters that said "Past Due." In his other hand, he held an old, faded photograph. Marcus had no idea that LeBron James was standing in the doorway, watching him cry. And Marcus had no idea that this exact moment at 11:47 p.m., was about to change everything for him and his dying daughter. Because what LeBron did next didn't just help one family. It started a chain of events that would eventually save hundreds of lives. But that night in that tiny closet, it started with one simple choice. The choice to stop, to listen, to care about a stranger's pain. What was Marcus crying about? Why was he holding that medical bill and that photograph? And what did LeBron do that changed their family forever? Stay with me, because this true story will make you cry, give you hope, and remind you that one person really can change the world. Watch until the very end, because the most incredible part of this story happened 6 years later, and you won't believe what this janitor's daughter does to pay it forward. This is the story of how 10 seconds of compassion created a miracle, and it all started with the sound of crying in an empty arena. The clock on the wall of Staples Center read 11:47 p.m. LeBron James walked alone through the empty corridors of the arena, his footsteps echoing against the polished concrete floors. The building felt different at this hour, like a sleeping giant, quiet and still after thousands of screaming fans had poured out into the Los Angeles night. It was December 15, 2018. Just 3 hours earlier, LeBron had scored 29 points against the Houston Rockets. The Lakers won 111-106, and the crowd had roared with every basket. But now, the seats were empty. The lights were dimmed. The magic of game night had faded into shadows and silence. LeBron was tired. His legs ached from 40 minutes of running, jumping, and battling against defenders. At 33 years old, his body needed rest after every game. All he wanted was to go home, kiss his kids good night, and sleep. But he'd left his phone charger in the locker room, and he needed it for tomorrow's early morning flight to Denver. He turned down the corridor near section 117, his shoes squeaking against the floor. The hallway was lined with photographs of Lakers legends: Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant. LeBron looked at their faces as he passed. This was his first season wearing purple and gold, and sometimes it still felt strange. After 15 years in Cleveland and Miami, Los Angeles was his new home. He was still learning his way around. That's when he heard it. The sound stopped him in his tracks. Someone was crying, not the quiet sniffles of disappointment, not the frustrated tears of a lost game. This was deep, painful sobbing, the sound of a heart breaking, the kind of crying that comes from somewhere deep inside when the weight of the world becomes too heavy to carry alone. LeBron stood still, listening. The sound echoed through the empty arena, bouncing off walls and filling the silence with raw pain. For a moment, he thought about walking away. It was late. He was tired. Maybe this person wanted privacy, but LeBron couldn't move his feet. He'd heard crying like this before. When he was a kid in Akron, Ohio, he'd heard his mother cry this way. Gloria James had raised him alone, working multiple jobs, trying to keep them fed and housed. Some nights when she thought young LeBron was asleep, he'd hear her in the next room, sobbing with exhaustion and fear. That sound had stayed with him his whole life. It reminded him of struggle, of pain, of what it felt like when hope seemed impossible. He couldn't walk away from it now. LeBron followed the sound down the hallway, past the locker rooms, toward the loading dock area. The crying grew louder. He passed through a set of double doors and found himself in a maintenance section of the arena, a place most fans never saw. Here, the walls weren't painted. The floors weren't polished. This was where the real work happened, behind the scenes, away from the cameras and crowds. The crying came from a small maintenance closet on his left. The door was slightly open, and a flickering fluorescent light cast shadows across the hallway. LeBron approached slowly. He could see inside now, cleaning supplies on metal shelves, a mop bucket, a time clock on the wall. And sitting on the floor, his back against a wall, was a man in a dark blue janitor's uniform. The man's face was buried in his hands. His shoulders shook with each sob. Beside him sat an abandoned cleaning cart, the mop water growing cold in its yellow bucket. A dirty mop leaned against the cart, forgotten. LeBron stood in the doorway, unsure what to do. He'd met thousands of people in his life, fans, reporters, other athletes, celebrities. But this felt different. This wasn't someone asking for an autograph or a selfie. This was a human being in genuine pain. The man hadn't noticed LeBron yet. He was lost in his grief, unaware that anyone else was there. LeBron could see the man's hands trembling. In his left hand, he clutched a crumpled piece of paper. It looked like a medical bill, covered in numbers and bold red letters that probably said past due or final notice. In his right hand, he held something else, a photograph. Even from the doorway, LeBron could see it was old and faded, the kind of picture people carry in their wallets for years until the edges become soft and worn. But the man held that photograph close, protective, like it was the most valuable thing he owned. LeBron took a deep breath. Every instinct told him to respect this man's privacy, to leave him alone with his pain. But something stronger pulled at LeBron's heart, the same feeling that had driven him to start his foundation for kids in Akron, the same impulse that made him pay for college scholarships for hundreds of students. He couldn't ignore suffering when he saw it, not when he had the power to help. He knocked gently on the doorframe. The man's head jerked up, his eyes wide with shock. His face was wet with tears. He looked to be in his early 50s, with kind eyes and gray streaks running through his dark hair. His name tag read Marcuschen in capital letters. "I'm sorry," Marcus said immediately, his voice thick with emotion. He scrambled to stand up, wiping his face with his sleeve. "I shouldn't be here. My shift ended at 11. I just needed a minute. I'll go. I'm so sorry." He tried to stuff the photograph and the medical bill into his pocket, embarrassed to be seen this way. "Wait," LeBron said quietly. He stepped into the small closet. "Don't go." Marcus froze, suddenly recognizing who stood before him. His eyes went even wider. "Mr. James, I'm sorry you had to see me like this. I'll clean myself up and—" "Stop apologizing," LeBron said. His voice was gentle but firm. "I heard you crying from down the hall. You're hurting, real bad from the sound of it." Marcus stood awkwardly, unsure what to do. Here was LeBron James, one of the most famous athletes in the world, standing in a maintenance closet at midnight talking to him. It seemed impossible. LeBron looked around the tiny space. There was an overturned bucket against the wall. He walked over, turned it upright, and sat down on it. Then he looked up at Marcus. "Sit," LeBron said, gesturing to the floor where Marcus had been. "Talk to me." "I can't, you don't have time for this is crazy," Marcus stammered. "I got time," LeBron said. "And you look like you need to talk to somebody, so sit down, please." Marcus hesitated for another moment, then slowly slid back down to the floor. He leaned against the wall, exhausted. The tears had stopped, but his eyes were red and swollen. He looked like a man who'd been crying for hours, maybe days. They sat in silence for a minute. The fluorescent light flickered above them. Somewhere in the distance, they could hear the hum of the arena's heating system. "I'm LeBron," LeBron finally said, though of course Marcus already knew. "Marcus," the janitor replied. "Marcus Chen. I work here 14 years now." 14 years, LeBron repeated. "That's a long time. You must love this place." Marcus nodded. "I do, I really do. I've cleaned every inch of this building. I know it better than my own apartment. I've watched so many great games, heard so many crowds cheering. I've mopped up after championships and losses. I've seen Magic Johnson walk these halls. I saw Kobe." His voice cracked. "I've been lucky to work here." "So what's got you crying in a closet at midnight?" LeBron asked. The question was direct but not unkind. Marcus looked down at his hands. He still held the photograph and the medical bill, now crumpled in his fists. "My daughter," he whispered. "My little girl, she's sick." LeBron felt his chest tighten. He had 3 kids of his own, Bronny, Bryce, and Jury. He couldn't imagine the pain of seeing one of them suffer. "How sick?" LeBron asked quietly. Marcus looked up and fresh tears began rolling down his face. "Really sick, Mr. James, cancer. The worst kind. She's only 16 years old and she's fighting for her life." The words hung in the air between them. LeBron felt the full weight of Marcus's pain in that moment. This wasn't just about medical bills or doctor appointments. This was a father watching his child battle a disease that could take her away forever. This was the deepest fear any parent could face. "What's your daughter's name?" LeBron asked. "Lily," Marcus said, and despite everything, his voice filled with love when he said it. "Lily Chen. She's brilliant, Mr. James, straight A's at Marshall High School. She speaks 3 languages, English, Mandarin, and Spanish. She volunteers at the library every weekend. She wants to be a doctor." He laughed bitterly through his tears. "She wants to cure cancer, and now she has it." Marcus pulled out the photograph he'd been holding and looked at it. His hands trembled. "She's the best thing I've ever done with my life," he continued. "Everything I am, everything I work for, it's all for her. And now," his voice broke completely, "now I can't save her. I'm failing her. I'm failing as a father." LeBron leaned forward on the bucket. "Tell me everything," he said. "Start from the beginning. I'm not going anywhere." Marcus took a shaky breath. He looked at LeBron's face and saw something unexpected there, genuine care. Not pity, not awkwardness, just human compassion. And so, in that tiny maintenance closet at Staples Center, with a flickering light above them and the quiet hum of the empty arena around them, Marcus Chen began to tell his story. But he kept the photograph turned face down in his hand. And he didn't unfold the medical bill. There were things he still couldn't say. Secrets he'd been carrying alone. Truths too painful to speak out loud. Not yet. But for the first time in months, Marcus felt like maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to carry everything by himself anymore. The sound of sorrow had been heard, and someone had stopped to listen. Marcus Chen wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. He still couldn't believe this was happening. LeBron James, the LeBron James, was sitting on an overturned bucket in a janitor's closet, waiting to hear his story. "I don't even know where to start," Marcus said, his voice hoarse from crying. "Start wherever feels right," LeBron replied. "I got all night if you need it." Marcus looked down at the photograph in his hand. He turned it over, staring at the image. Then he held it out to LeBron. LeBron took it carefully, like it was made of glass. The photo showed a younger Marcus, maybe in his mid-40s, standing with a little girl who looked about 8 years old. The girl had bright eyes and a huge smile, holding up a trophy of some kind. They were standing in front of a science fair display with colorful poster boards behind them. "That's Lily," Marcus said. "Second place at the regional science fair. She built a water filtration system using household materials. She was 8 years old." LeBron smiled at the photo. "She looks happy, you both do." "That was a good day," Marcus said. "One of the best days. I took off work early to be there. Lily was so proud. She kept hugging that trophy like it was made of gold." He paused. "I should have taken more days off. I should have been at more science fairs, more school events, but I was always working. Always." "Where are you from originally?" LeBron asked, handing the photo back. "Taiwan," Marcus said. "I came to America when I was 23. That was 1989. I had $200 in my pocket and barely spoke English. I had big dreams, you know. I thought America was this magical place where anyone could succeed if they worked hard enough." "And did you succeed?" LeBron asked. Marcus laughed, but there was no joy in it. "I'm a janitor, Mr. James. I clean toilets and mop floors. I empty trash cans after Lakers games. That's not exactly the American dream." "Man, don't say that," LeBron said firmly. "Honest work is honest work. There's dignity in what you do. This whole building runs because people like you show up every day and do the hard jobs nobody else wants to do. Don't ever put yourself down for that." Marcus looked surprised. He'd never thought of it that way. For so long, he'd felt like a failure, like he should have done more, been more, earned more. "I started as a dishwasher at a restaurant in Chinatown," Marcus continued. "Worked my way up to cook, then got a job at the Staples Center when it opened in 1999. I've been here ever since. 14 years of mopping these floors, cleaning these bathrooms, taking out trash after 20,000 people go home." "You ever regret coming to America?" LeBron asked. "Not once," Marcus said immediately. Because Lily was born here, she's American. She has opportunities I never had. She goes to a good school. She has access to libraries, computers, teachers who care. In Taiwan, my family was poor. We didn't have these things. Coming here gave Lily a chance at a better life. Tell me about her, LeBron said. What's she like? Marcus's face softened. Despite the tears, despite the pain, talking about Lily brought light to his eyes. She's stubborn, he said. Like her mother was. When Lily decides she's going to do something, nothing stops her. In ninth grade, she taught herself to code because she wanted to build an app to help elderly people remember their medications. She stayed up until 2 in the morning for weeks, watching YouTube videos, reading tutorials. She was 14 years old. Did she finish the app? LeBron asked. She did. It actually works. She submitted it to some student competition and won $500. She used the money to buy books for the library where she volunteers. Marcus shook his head in wonder. That's who Lily is. She could have bought herself a new phone or clothes. Instead, she bought books for other kids. LeBron felt a lump forming in his throat. He thought about his own foundation, the I Promise school he'd opened in Akron earlier that year. Kids like Lily were exactly why he did that work, bright, determined kids who just needed a chance. She sounds amazing, LeBron said. She is, Marcus whispered. She's the best person I know, better than me, kinder, smarter, braver. When her mother died, he stopped abruptly. LeBron waited, giving Marcus space. Lily's mother passed away 8 years ago, Marcus finally continued. Car accident on the 101 freeway. A truck driver fell asleep at the wheel and crossed the median. June, that was my wife's name. She died instantly. Lily was only 8 years old. I'm so sorry, man, LeBron said quietly. Marcus nodded. After June died, it was just me and Lily. I promised myself I'd take care of her. I'd work as hard as I needed to work. I'd give her everything. I'd make sure she never felt like she was missing out because she only had one parent. His voice cracked. But I'm failing. I'm failing both of them. How are you failing? LeBron asked. Sounds to me like you've worked yourself to the bone for your daughter. Working isn't the same as being there, Marcus said. I work double shifts, triple shifts sometimes. I pick up every extra hour I can. Holidays, weekends, overnight cleaning crews, I'm always working. And you know what Lily told me 2 months ago? LeBron shook his head. She said she missed me, Marcus said, his voice breaking. Her dad. She said I was always at work, always tired. She said she understood why, but she missed having a dad who smiled, who laughed, who had time to just sit with her. Tears rolled down Marcus's face again. She wrote me a letter, left it on the kitchen table before school one day. It was the most loving, gentle letter. She wasn't angry. She wasn't blaming me. She missed me. Even though we live in the same apartment, she missed me. LeBron felt his own eyes getting wet. He thought about how much time he spent on the road during the season. Practices, games, travel. How many of Bronny's games had he missed? How many bedtimes with Yuri? What did you do when you read the letter? LeBron asked. I cried, Marcus admitted. I cried just like you found me tonight, and I promised myself I'd change. I'd take a day off. I'd spend real time with her. I was going to take her to the beach. That's her favorite place. We scattered June's ashes there years ago. Lily loves the ocean. Did you take her? Marcus's face crumpled. I was going to. I planned it for the Saturday after I read her letter, but the Friday before, Lily collapsed at school. The words hung in the air like a weight. She was in PE class, Marcus continued. They were running laps. Lily said she felt dizzy and then she just fell. The school called an ambulance. I got the call at work and my heart stopped. I thought she'd died just like June. I thought I'd lost my baby girl. LeBron leaned forward, listening intently. They took her to Children's Hospital Los Angeles, Marcus said. I met them there. Lily was awake, talking, saying she felt fine. The doctors ran tests. At first, they thought it was just dehydration or low blood sugar, but they wanted to keep her overnight for observation. And that's when they found the cancer, LeBron asked. Marcus nodded. More tests, blood work, scans. It took 3 weeks of appointments and specialists before they finally told us. His hands trembled. November 3rd, 2018. I'll never forget that date. Dr. Patricia Okonkwo, she's this amazing doctor, really kind. She sat us down in a little consultation room and said Lily has acute myeloid leukemia, AML. LeBron had heard of leukemia before, but he didn't know much about it. "It's blood cancer," Marcus explained. "Really aggressive. It affects her bone marrow, stops her body from making healthy blood cells. Without treatment, she'd have maybe 6 months to live." The words hit LeBron like a punch to the chest. 6 months. This beautiful, brilliant 16-year-old girl had 6 months without treatment. "But with treatment?" LeBron asked. "With treatment, the survival rate is about 65% for her type and age," Marcus said. "Those are better odds than some cancers. The doctors said she's young and strong. She has a fighting chance, but the treatment is brutal. Chemotherapy that makes her so sick she can't eat. Drugs that make her tired and weak. She might need a bone marrow transplant. It'll take at least a year, maybe more." "How's Lily handling it?" LeBron asked. Marcus looked at the photograph again. "She's braver than I am. When Dr. Okonkwo told us the diagnosis, I fell apart. I started crying right there in the office. But Lily, she just sat there, very quiet, very still. Then she turned to me and said, 'It's okay, Dad, we'll figure it out.'" Marcus's voice filled with wonder and pain. "She's 16 years old, Mr. James. She just found out she has cancer and she was comforting me, telling me it would be okay." LeBron understood that kind of strength. He'd seen it in his own mother, Gloria, when she was raising him alone in Akron. Sometimes the people who should be protected are the ones doing the protecting. "Has she started treatment?" LeBron asked. 3 weeks ago, Marcus said. "She goes to Children's Hospital every week for chemotherapy. It takes hours. They hook her up to an IV and pump poison into her veins to kill the cancer cells. But it kills the good cells too. She comes home exhausted. She's lost most of her hair. She can barely eat because everything makes her nauseous." Marcus pulled out the crumpled paper he'd been holding, the medical bill. He unfolded it and handed it to LeBron. LeBron looked at the numbers. His eyes went wide. The bill was from Children's Hospital Los Angeles. It showed charges for consultations, lab work, medications, chemotherapy treatments. The total at the bottom made LeBron's stomach turn. $4,732,819 in bold red letters at the top. It said past due, payment required. "This is just one bill," Marcus said quietly. "There are more, many more. My insurance through the union covers some of it, but not everything. Not the experimental drugs, not the special medications for side effects, not the transportation to appointments every week. The copays alone are killing me." "How much total are we talking about?" LeBron asked. "Right now, about $80,000 in debt, but Lily's treatment will last at least 8 more months, maybe a year. The doctors say by the time we're done, we could be looking at $200,000 or more in costs that insurance won't cover." LeBron felt anger rising in his chest. How was this possible? How could a man working an honest job with insurance still be drowning in medical debt because his daughter got cancer? This wasn't right. This wasn't how things should be. "I've been working triple shifts," Marcus continued. "I sleep maybe 4 hours a night. I pick up every extra hour they offer. Weekends, holidays, middle-of-the-night cleaning crews. I'm at the hospital with Lily for her treatments, then I come straight here to work. I eat vending machine food. I haven't had a day off since September." "Marcus," LeBron said gently, "you're going to work yourself to death." "I know," Marcus whispered, "but what choice do I have? If I don't work, the bills don't get paid. If the bills don't get paid, Lily doesn't get treatment. If Lily doesn't get treatment..." He couldn't finish the sentence. They sat in silence for a moment. The fluorescent light flickered above them. In the distance, they heard a door close somewhere in the arena. "Why were you crying tonight?" LeBron asked. "Did something specific happen?" Marcus nodded slowly. "I got a call from the hospital this afternoon. They're threatening to turn over our account to a collection agency if we don't make a payment of at least $10,000 by the end of the month. That's 2 weeks away. I don't have $10,000, I barely have $100 in my checking account." "What happens if they send it to collections?" "I don't know," Marcus admitted. "Maybe they stop treatment. Maybe they sue me. I've been too scared to ask. I just know I have to find that money somehow." LeBron's mind was racing. This couldn't happen. This man couldn't lose his daughter because of money. Not when LeBron was sitting right there, able to help. But he could tell there was more. Marcus kept looking at that photograph, kept touching it like it held some secret. "Marcus," LeBron said carefully, "is there something else? Something you're not telling me." Marcus looked up, surprised. "How did LeBron know?" "I can see it in your face," LeBron explained. "The money is terrible, the cancer is terrible, but there's something else eating at you, something deeper." Marcus was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke in barely more than a whisper. "There's something about Lily I haven't told anyone at work," he said. "Something I've been ashamed of, and now I'm terrified I'll lose her before I can make it right." LeBron waited, giving Marcus space to continue. "That letter she wrote me," Marcus said. "The one where she said she missed me. I never answered it. I never talked to her about it. I just kept working more, kept pushing harder, kept telling myself that once the bills were paid, once things were stable, then I'd have time. Then I'd be the dad she deserves." Tears streamed down his face. "But there's never going to be enough time, is there? The bills just keep coming. The work never ends. And meanwhile, my daughter is fighting cancer without her dad really being there. I'm physically present at treatments, but I'm exhausted. I'm stressed. I'm not really with her." "She knows you love her," LeBron said. "Does she?" Marcus asked. "Or does she think I love work more than I love her? Does she think I care more about money than about moments with her?" LeBron thought about his own kids. Would they remember the championships he won? Or would they remember the times he showed up for their games, their recitals, their regular Tuesday nights at home? "There's more," Marcus said, his voice shaking. "Something Lily said to me last week that broke my heart into a million pieces. Something that made me realize I've failed her in the worst possible way." LeBron leaned in. "What did she say?" Marcus looked directly at LeBron, his eyes full of pain and regret. "She said," Marcus had to stop and gather himself. "She said that if the treatment doesn't work, if she doesn't beat this cancer, she wants her last weeks to be full of memories with me. Not hospital rooms and me working overtime. She said she's not afraid of dying, but she's terrified of dying without really having her dad back." The words hit LeBron like a freight train. "She's 16 years old," Marcus sobbed, "and she's already thinking about her own death. Not because she's giving up, but because she knows that even if she survives, I might not change. I might keep working myself to death. I might keep choosing overtime over time with her." Marcus buried his face in his hands. "What kind of father am I? My daughter is dying, and she's more worried about me than about herself. She's trying to comfort me while I'm the one who should be comforting her." LeBron stood up from the bucket. He walked over to Marcus and knelt down beside him. He put his hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Listen to me," LeBron said firmly. "You are not a bad father. You're a scared father. You're a father doing everything you know how to do. You're working yourself to the bone because you love your daughter and you're terrified of losing her. That's not failure. That's love." Marcus looked up, his face wet with tears. "But Lily's right about one thing," LeBron continued. "She needs you present, not just physically there, but really there, clear-headed, rested, ready to make memories. And right now, you can't be that person because you're drowning in debt and exhaustion." "I don't know how to change it," Marcus whispered. "I'm trapped. If I work less, we can't pay bills. If I work more, I lose time with her. Either way, I lose." LeBron stood up. He pulled out his phone. "What are you doing?" Marcus asked. "Changing the game," LeBron said. He started typing on his phone. "You're not trapped anymore, Marcus. Not after tonight." "I don't understand," Marcus said. LeBron looked at him with complete seriousness. "Marcus Chen, I'm about to make you a promise, and I keep my promises." Marcus stared at him, unable to process what was happening. "But first," LeBron said, "I need you to promise me something. Can you do that?" Marcus nodded slowly. "Promise me that starting tomorrow, you're going to start being the dad Lily asked for in that letter. Promise me you're going to choose presents over paychecks. Promise me you'll trust that things are about to change." I promise," Marcus stammered. "But how can things change?" LeBron smiled. It was the first smile either of them had managed since this conversation began. "You'll see," LeBron said. "Now give me your phone number, and Lily's doctor's name, and the name of your supervisor here at the arena." Marcus's hands shook as he pulled out his phone and read off the information. LeBron typed it all into his phone. "What are you going to do?" Marcus asked. "What I should have been doing all along," LeBron replied. "Using everything I have to help people who need it. You and Lily need it, so I'm showing up." The tears on Marcus's face were different now. Not just pain, but something else. Something that felt almost like hope. "Mr. James, I can't ask you to." "You didn't ask," LeBron interrupted. "I'm offering big difference." LeBron extended his hand to help Marcus up from the floor. Marcus took it and stood, his legs shaky from sitting so long and crying so hard. "Go home," LeBron said. "Get some sleep. Be with Lily tomorrow, really be with her, and wait for my call." "I don't know what to say," Marcus whispered. "Don't say anything yet," LeBron replied. "Just trust me. Can you do that?" Marcus nodded, unable to speak. LeBron gave him a hug, a real hug, not the quick pat on the back kind, the kind of hug that says you're not alone anymore. When they pulled apart, Marcus looked at LeBron with wonder and confusion and desperate hope all mixed together. "One more thing," LeBron said as Marcus picked up his cleaning cart. "That photograph of Lily at the science fair, frame it. Put it somewhere you'll see it every day. And remember, that little girl with the trophy. She's still in there, she's still fighting, and now she's got both of us in her corner." Marcus clutched the photograph to his chest and nodded. As Marcus pushed his cart out of the closet and down the hallway, LeBron watched him go. Then he looked at his phone. It was 12:43 a.m. He started making calls. Some things couldn't wait until morning. LeBron James sat in his car in the Staples Center parking garage. It was 12:47 a.m. and he should have been driving home. His wife, Savannah, was probably asleep. His kids were definitely asleep. Had practice tomorrow at 10 a.m., but he couldn't leave, not yet. He stared at his phone, looking at the notes he'd typed while talking to Marcus. Lily Chen, 16 years old, acute myeloid leukemia, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, $80,000 in debt and climbing. LeBron had money, more money than he could spend in 10 lifetimes. He'd signed a 4-year, $153 million contract with the Lakers that summer. He had endorsement deals worth millions more. Money wasn't real to him anymore. It was just numbers on a screen moving from one account to another. But to Marcus Chen, to a janitor raising a sick daughter alone, $80,000 was everything. It was the difference between hope and despair, between treatment and giving up, between life and death. LeBron made his first call. "Rich, it's LeBron. I know it's late, but I need you." Rich Paul was LeBron's agent and close friend. They'd known each other since LeBron was 18 years old. Rich answered on the second ring, his voice alert despite the late hour. "What's wrong? You okay?" "I'm fine," LeBron said, "but I need your help with something important." He told Rich about Marcus and Lily, about the crying in the closet, the medical bills, the impossible choice between work and presents. Rich listened without interrupting. "How much do they need?" Rich asked when LeBron finished. "Right now, about $10,000 by the end of the month, or the hospital sends them to collections. Long term, maybe $200,000 total for all her treatment." "Done," Rich said immediately. "I'll have a check delivered to the hospital tomorrow. What's the account information?" "I'll text you everything," LeBron said. "But Rich, this is bigger than just paying bills. I need you to help me figure out how to really help this family. How to give Marcus his life back so he can be present for his daughter." "What are you thinking?" Rich asked. "I'm thinking we pay all their medical bills, past, present, and future. I'm thinking we make sure Marcus doesn't have to work triple shifts anymore. I'm thinking we connect them with the best doctors, the best care. I'm thinking we show up for this family the way people showed up for my mom and me." Rich was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "LeBron, you have the biggest heart of anyone I know. Let's make this happen. Send me everything you have and I'll start working on it first thing in the morning." "Thanks, man," LeBron said. "That's what I'm here for," Rich replied. "Now go home and get some sleep. We'll figure this out." LeBron hung up and immediately made another call, this time to Randy Mims, who worked with the LeBron James Family Foundation. Randy had been with LeBron for years, helping run his charitable programs. "Randy, I need the foundation to take on a special case," LeBron explained after waking Randy up. "A family in crisis. I want to cover all their medical expenses and provide whatever support they need." "Absolutely," Randy said without hesitation. "Email me the details and we'll set it up as a grant through the foundation. It'll be done by end of day tomorrow." LeBron made 4 more calls that night, to his business manager, to a friend who was a hospital administrator, to his assistant, to another friend who knew people at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. By 2:15 a.m., LeBron had set in motion a plan that would change Marcus and Lily's lives. The medical bills would be paid. Marcus would be able to take leave from work, paid leave. Lily would get connected to additional specialists. But as LeBron finally started driving home, he knew the money was just the beginning. Marcus and Lily needed more than financial help. They needed time together. They needed healing, not just from cancer, but from years of grief and survival mode. And LeBron wanted to be part of that journey. Marcus Chen didn't sleep that night. He lay in his small bedroom in their apartment in Koreatown, staring at the ceiling. The conversation with LeBron James felt like a dream. Had it really happened? Had one of the most famous athletes in the world really sat with him in a janitor's closet and listened to him cry? And those phone calls LeBron was making, what did they mean? What was going to change? Marcus was afraid to hope. He'd learned not to hope too much. Life had taught him that lesson hard. He'd hoped his family in Taiwan would support his decision to come to America. They didn't. He'd hoped he could build a successful business. He couldn't. He'd hoped June would grow old with him. She didn't. Hope felt dangerous. Hope felt like setting yourself up for heartbreak. But lying there in the dark, Marcus couldn't stop a small flame of hope from flickering in his chest. At 6:30 a.m., Marcus got up and made breakfast. Lily's door was closed. She was sleeping in. The chemotherapy made her exhausted. Some days she slept until noon. Marcus made her favorite breakfast anyway: scrambled eggs with cheese, toast with butter and strawberry jam, and orange juice. He kept it warm on the stove, waiting for her to wake up. While he waited, Marcus looked at the photograph from last night, Lily at 8 years old holding her science fair trophy. He found an old frame in a drawer, cleaned it off, and put the photo inside. Then he placed it on the small table next to his favorite chair. The first memory he wanted to see every day. At 8:00 a.m., Lily's door opened. She shuffled out in her pajamas, a purple beanie covering her head where her hair used to be. She looked thin and pale, but she smiled when she saw her dad. "You're still home?" she asked, surprised. "Don't you have the early morning shift?" Marcus had completely forgotten. He was supposed to be at Staples Center at 7 a.m. to help clean up from last night's game. "I'm taking the day off," Marcus said. The words felt strange in his mouth. He couldn't remember the last time he'd taken a day off. Lily's eyes widened. "Are you sick? What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong," Marcus said, walking over to hug his daughter. He held her carefully. She was so fragile now, so breakable. "I just wanted to spend the day with you. Is that okay?" Lily pulled back and looked at her father's face. His eyes were red and swollen from crying, but there was something different about him, something lighter. "Did something happen?" she asked. Marcus smiled. "Maybe, I don't know yet, but I realized something last night. I realized I've been so focused on working to save your life that I haven't been living life with you, and that needs to change." Tears filled Lily's eyes. "Dad." "I made your favorite breakfast," Marcus said quickly, not wanting either of them to start crying. "Come eat before it gets cold." They sat at their small kitchen table, the same table where Lily had left her letter 2 months ago. Marcus served the eggs and toast. Lily ate slowly, her appetite still affected by the chemotherapy. "Dad," Lily said between bites, "I need to tell you something." "What is it, sweetheart?" "I'm scared," she admitted. "Not about the cancer. I'm scared that even when I beat this, and I will beat it, I'm scared that you'll still be working all the time. I'm scared that nothing will really change." Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. "Things are going to change, Lily, I promise, starting today." "How can you promise that?" Lily asked. "The bills are still there, the treatments still cost money, you still need to work." "Maybe not as much as I thought," Marcus said mysteriously. "Something happened last night, something unexpected." Before he could explain, his phone rang. The caller ID said unknown number. Marcus answered nervously. "Hello." "Is this Marcus Chen?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes, this is Marcus." "Mr. Chen, this is Patricia from the billing department at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. I'm calling about your daughter Lily's account." Marcus's heart sank. Here it was, the collection agency threat, the demands for payment, the end of everything. "I understand," Marcus said quietly. "I'm working on getting you the money. Please just give me a little more time." "Mr. Chen, I think there's been a misunderstanding, Patricia said. I'm calling to inform you that your account balance has been paid in full. Marcus nearly dropped the phone. What? Your account showed a balance of $4,732,819 as of yesterday. This morning, we received a wire transfer for the full amount, plus an additional $50,000 to be applied to future treatment costs. Your account is now in a positive balance. Marcus couldn't breathe. That's impossible. There must be a mistake. No mistake, sir. The payment came from the LeBron James Family Foundation. The wire included a note that all future treatment costs for Lily Chen are to be submitted directly to the foundation for payment. You won't receive any more bills. Marcus started crying. Lily jumped up from her chair. Dad, what's wrong? Mr. Chen, Patricia said, are you there? I'm here, Marcus managed to say. I can't believe this is real. It's very real, sir. Additionally, I have a message from a Dr. Michael Chen at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. He's a specialist in pediatric leukemia, and he'd like to consult on Lily's case. His office will be calling you today to set up an appointment. There's no charge. It's been arranged through the foundation. Marcus couldn't speak. He just cried. Mr. Chen, I know this must be overwhelming, Patricia said kindly, but this is wonderful news. Your daughter can focus on getting better and you can focus on being with her. That's what matters most. After Marcus hung up, Lily threw her arms around him. What happened? Tell me. Through his tears, Marcus told her about last night, about crying in the closet, about LeBron James appearing like some kind of angel, about the conversation that changed everything. LeBron James, Lily said, her eyes huge. The actual LeBron James found you crying and decided to pay for my entire treatment. I know it sounds crazy, Marcus said. It sounds like a miracle, Lily whispered. They held each other and cried, but this time they were tears of relief, of gratitude, of hope finally being allowed to bloom. Over the next hour, Marcus received 3 more phone calls. The first was from his supervisor at Staples Center, Mr. Rodriguez. Marcus, I got a very interesting call this morning from someone representing LeBron James. They've arranged for you to take a paid leave of absence for the next 6 months. Full salary, benefits maintained. Your job will be waiting when you're ready to come back. Marcus couldn't believe it, but how? Why would the arena agree to that? Mr. Rodriguez laughed. When LeBron James personally calls and offers to cover your salary himself if needed, we say yes. But honestly, Marcus, you've worked here for 14 years without complaint. You've earned this. Take care of your daughter. That's what matters. The second call was from Randy Mims at the LeBron James Family Foundation. Mr. Chen, LeBron asked me to reach out. We want to make sure you and Lily have everything you need. Transportation to appointments, meals, whatever would make this time easier. We're here to support you. The third call was from LeBron himself. Marcus, it's LeBron. Did you get the calls? I did, Marcus said, his voice shaking. I don't know how to thank you. I don't have words for what you've done. You don't need to thank me, LeBron said. Just keep that promise you made last night. Be present with Lily. That's all the thanks I need. I will, Marcus said. I promise. Good. Now I'd like to come meet Lily if that's okay with you. Not today. Give yourselves time to process all this. But soon. I want to meet the girl who's inspired her father to fight so hard. She'd love that, Marcus said. She's a big fan. Of the Lakers? LeBron asked. Of purple, Marcus said with a laugh. It's been her favorite color since she was 6. She has a Lakers shirt she wears all the time. LeBron laughed too. That's perfect. I'll bring her some Lakers gear when I visit. But Marcus, I'm not coming as LeBron James, the basketball player. I'm coming as someone who wants to know your family, to support you, to be present. Is that okay? More than okay, Marcus said. LeBron, can I ask you something? Anything. Why would you do all this for people you don't know? LeBron was quiet for a moment. You want the real answer? Yes. Because I know what it's like to need help and have someone show up, LeBron said. When I was a kid in Akron, my mom and I were struggling bad. Really bad. We moved from apartment to apartment. Sometimes we didn't have electricity or heat. I missed a lot of school because we didn't have a stable place to live. Marcus listened carefully. In fourth grade, a family named the Walkers took me in, LeBron continued. Frank and Pam Walker, they didn't have to. They had their own kids, their own lives. But they saw a kid who needed help and they showed up. They gave me a stable home. They made sure I got to school. They fed me. They loved me. That changed everything for you, Marcus said. It saved my life, LeBron said simply. And I promised myself that if I ever had the chance, the resources, the ability to be that person for someone else, I would. You and Lily need someone to show up right now, so I'm showing up. Marcus wiped his eyes. I'll never forget this, never. Just be with your daughter, LeBron said. Make memories, laugh together, that's what matters. And Marcus, tell her about her mother, tell her June's stories, keep that love alive. After they hung up, Marcus sat with Lily on their worn couch. She was curled up next to him, her head on his shoulder. What are we going to do today? Lily asked. Marcus thought about all the days he'd missed, all the overtime shifts, the exhausted nights, the moments he'd sacrificed for money that never seemed like enough. Whatever you want, he said. We have all day. We have 6 months. What do you want to do? Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she said, can we go to the beach? I know I'm supposed to rest, but I miss the ocean. I miss Mom. Marcus kissed the top of her head, feeling the soft fabric of her beanie. Get dressed. We're going to the beach. They drove to Santa Monica Beach that afternoon. It was December, so the beach wasn't crowded. The winter air was cool but not cold. Lily wore a jacket and her purple beanie, and they walked slowly along the shore. This was where they'd scattered June's ashes 8 years ago. Lily had been so small then, holding Marcus's hand, crying as they said goodbye to her mother. Now they walked together, father and daughter, both survivors of different battles. Tell me about Mom, Lily said as they walked. Tell me something I don't know. Marcus thought for a moment. Your mother loved to dance. Before you were born, we'd go to this little club in Chinatown every Saturday night. She wasn't a good dancer, she had no rhythm at all. He laughed at the memory. But she didn't care. She'd just move and laugh and be free. I was always too embarrassed to dance with her. I'd sit at the table and watch. Why didn't you dance? Lily asked. I was scared of looking foolish, Marcus admitted. I was always so serious, so worried about what people thought. Your mother wasn't like that. She lived out loud. She took risks. She chose joy even when things were hard. I wish I remembered her better, Lily said quietly. You're like her, Marcus said. You have her courage, her kindness, her ability to see light even in dark times. They found a spot on the sand and sat down. The waves rolled in and out, steady and eternal. The sun was starting to lower in the sky, painting everything golden. Dad, Lily said, I need to tell you something I haven't said out loud. Marcus turned to look at her. What is it, sweetheart? I'm going to beat this cancer, she said firmly. I know everyone's worried. I know the statistics aren't perfect, but I can feel it inside me. I'm going to survive. That's not what scares me. What does scare you? Marcus asked, though he thought he knew the answer. I'm scared that even after I'm better, you'll still be stuck, still working too much, still scared, still not really living. She took his hand. When I wrote you that letter, I wasn't just asking for more time together. I was asking you to forgive yourself. Forgive myself for what? For not being able to save Mom, Lily said gently. For not being rich, for being human. Dad, you've spent 8 years punishing yourself, working yourself to death to prove you're enough. But you were always enough. You've always been enough. Marcus started crying again. How did his 16-year-old daughter understand him better than he understood himself? I need you to promise me something, Lily said. Promise me that when I beat this cancer, and I will, you'll let yourself be happy. You'll let yourself rest. You'll let yourself live instead of just survive. Marcus pulled her close. I promise, baby, I promise. They sat on the beach until the sun set, turning the sky purple and orange and pink. Lily's favorite colors, June's favorite colors. And for the first time in 8 years, Marcus let himself feel something he'd locked away, peace. Not because the cancer was gone, it wasn't. Not because all their problems were solved, they weren't. But because in that moment, sitting with his daughter watching the sunset, he was exactly where he needed to be. He was present. He was alive. He was finally, truly there. December 19, 2018. Room 512 at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Lily Chen sat in a comfortable recliner chair, an IV line running into her left arm. Purple liquid dripped slowly from the bag above her, chemotherapy drugs that would make her feel terrible later but might save her life. She wore her favorite purple beanie and an oversized Lakers hoodie that Marcus had bought her last week. Marcus sat beside her in a regular chair, holding her right hand. They were watching a nature documentary on Lily's iPad about sea turtles. It was their fourth chemotherapy session together, and they developed a routine. During treatment, they watched documentaries or read books aloud, anything to make the 3 hours pass more quickly. At 2:30 p.m., there was a knock on the door. "Come in," Lily called out. The door opened and LeBron James walked in. Lily's eyes went wide. She'd known he was coming, but seeing him in person was different. He was so tall he had to duck slightly through the doorway. He wore jeans, a simple black t-shirt, and a Lakers cap pulled low. He carried a backpack over one shoulder. "Hi, Lily," LeBron said, his voice warm and friendly. "Hi, Marcus." "Mr. James," Lily said, suddenly feeling shy. "Thank you for coming." "Call me LeBron," he said, pulling up another chair and sitting down. "And I should be thanking you for letting me visit. Your dad's told me a lot about you." "All good things, I hope," Lily said with a small smile. "The best things," LeBron confirmed. He looked at the IV bag, then at Lily's face. She was pale and thin, but her eyes were bright with intelligence and curiosity. "How are you feeling?" "Not too bad right now," Lily said honestly. "It's later that's rough. Usually about 4 hours after treatment, I get really nauseous and tired, like can't keep my eyes open, tired." "That sounds hard," LeBron said. "It is," Lily admitted. "But it's working. My cancer numbers are going down, so I'll take the nausea if it means I get to live." LeBron was struck by her matter-of-fact tone. She wasn't feeling sorry for herself or complaining. She was just stating facts, approaching her cancer treatment the way she probably approached a science project, with logic and determination. "Your dad tells me you're really smart," LeBron said. "Like, scary smart." Lily laughed. "I don't know about scary, I just like learning things." "What are you learning about right now?" "Cancer mostly," Lily said. "I've been reading about immunotherapy and CAR T-cell treatment. It's this new approach where they modify your own immune cells to fight cancer. It's not available for my type of leukemia yet, but the trials are promising. Maybe in a few years." LeBron glanced at Marcus, impressed. "You understand all that?" "Most of it," Lily said. "Some of the biochemistry goes over my head, but I'm working on it. I figure if this disease is inside me, I should understand what it's doing and how we're fighting it." "That's an incredible way to look at it," LeBron said. "Most people would just let the doctors handle everything." "I trust Dr. Okonkwo completely," Lily said, "but knowledge makes me feel less scared. When I understand what's happening, it's not as terrifying." They talked for a while about school, about Lily's favorite subjects, biology and creative writing, about the books she was reading. LeBron had brought his backpack full of books. He'd asked Marcus what Lily liked, and he'd picked out several novels and science books from a bookstore in Beverly Hills. "You didn't have to do that," Lily said, looking through the books with delight. "I wanted to," LeBron said. "Plus, I need you to tell me which ones are good. I'm always looking for book recommendations." As they talked, LeBron noticed something on the wall. It was a list, written in Lily's handwriting on a piece of paper taped above her bed. The title read, "Things to Do with Dad." LeBron read through the list. "Watch the sunset at the beach. Cook Mom's dumpling recipe together. Look through old photo albums. Go to the library where I volunteer and show him my favorite books. Tell him I'm not mad about the overtime. Tell him I understand. Tell him I love him." Every item had a check mark next to it. "You finished your list," LeBron observed. Lily looked at the list and smiled. "Yeah, Dad and I have been doing all the things I asked for. It's been really good." "She made me add things too," Marcus said. "My own list." "What's on yours?" LeBron asked. "Letting myself rest," Marcus said. "Forgiving myself for not being perfect. Remembering that presence matters more than presence. That kind of stuff." "Heavy stuff," LeBron said. "Important stuff," Marcus corrected. LeBron pulled out his phone. Mind if I take a picture of you too? Just for me, not for social media or anything. I'd like to remember this." "Sure," Lily said. LeBron snapped a photo of Marcus and Lily holding hands, both smiling. Then Lily insisted on taking one of LeBron and Marcus together. "This is surreal," Marcus said, shaking his head. "A month ago, I was cleaning toilets after your games. Now you're in my daughter's hospital room taking pictures with us." "Life's funny that way," LeBron said. "The most important moments usually happen when we least expect them." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, watching the IV drip. Then LeBron spoke again, his voice quieter now. "Can I tell you guys something? Something I don't talk about much." "Of course," Marcus said. LeBron leaned forward, his elbows on his knees. "When you were telling me about Lily that night in the closet, Marcus, something hit me hard. The stuff about working all the time, about being physically present but not really there. That hit home." "How so?" Lily asked. "My mom raised me alone," LeBron said. "Gloria James. She had me when she was 16 years old. My father wasn't around. We were poor, like really poor. We moved constantly because we couldn't always pay rent. Sometimes we stayed with friends or family members. Sometimes we didn't have heat or electricity." Lily and Marcus listened intently. "When I was in 4th grade," LeBron continued, "things got really bad. My mom was struggling with some personal stuff. I missed 53 days of school that year because we kept moving and I didn't have stable housing. I was 9 years old and I didn't know if I'd have a place to sleep or food to eat." "That's terrible," Lily said softly. "It was scary," LeBron admitted. "But then something amazing happened. There was this family, the Walkers, Frank and Pam Walker. They had 3 kids of their own, but they saw what was happening with me and my mom, and they offered to take me in." "Did your mom agree?" Marcus asked. "Eventually, yeah. It was the hardest decision of her life, but she knew I needed stability. So I lived with the Walkers during the week for a while. I got to go to school regularly. I had my own bed. I ate 3 meals a day. They treated me like I was one of their own kids." LeBron's voice was thick with emotion. "The Walkers didn't have to do that. They weren't rich. They had their own struggles. But they saw a kid who needed help and they showed up. They gave me structure and stability when I needed it most." "They saved your life," Lily said. "In a way, yeah," LeBron agreed. "They showed me that family isn't just about blood, it's about who shows up, who stays, who chooses to be there even when it's hard." He looked at Marcus directly. "When I found you crying in that closet, Marcus, I saw my mom. I saw all the nights she cried because she felt like she was failing me. I saw all the sacrifices she made, working multiple jobs, trying so hard to give me everything. And I saw how much it hurt her to feel like it wasn't enough." Marcus's eyes filled with tears. "But here's what I learned," LeBron continued. "My mom didn't fail me, not even close. Yeah, we had hard times. Yeah, she needed help sometimes. But she loved me fiercely. She fought for me. She showed up in the ways that mattered most. And when she couldn't do it alone, she had the courage to accept help." "That's what you're giving my dad permission to do," Lily said quietly. "Accept help." "Exactly," LeBron said. "Because nobody should have to do the hardest things in life alone. We're supposed to help each other. That's what being human means." LeBron reached into his backpack again and pulled out a folder. "I've been making some calls. I have friends who are doctors, including some cancer specialists. I wanted to make sure Lily's getting the best care possible." He handed the folder to Marcus. Inside were contact numbers for 3 of the top leukemia specialists in the country, along with notes about clinical trials and new treatment options. "Dr. Okonkwo is excellent," LeBron said. "I spoke with her yesterday and she's doing everything right, but I wanted you to have these just in case. Second opinions, access to experimental treatments, whatever you might need." Marcus couldn't speak. He just nodded, overwhelmed by gratitude. "There's something else," LeBron said, looking at Lily. "I want to be part of your journey, if you're okay with it. I'd like to come to some of your treatments, maybe bring you books or just hang out. No cameras, no publicity, just as someone who cares about you and your dad." "Why?" Lily asked, not suspiciously, just genuinely curious. "You don't even know us." LeBron thought about how to answer. "You know what the hardest part of being famous is? People see LeBron James, the basketball player. They see the points and the championships and the money. But they don't always see LeBron the person, the guy who still remembers what it's like to be scared and poor and uncertain. He leaned back in his chair. When I met your dad, he reminded me why I do what I do. It's not about basketball. It's about using everything I have, money, connections, influence, to help people who need it. You and your dad needed help, so I'm helping. It's that simple. It's not simple to us, Marcus said quietly. It's everything. Can I tell you a secret? Lily asked LeBron, please. When I first got diagnosed, I was really angry, Lily admitted. Not at God or the universe or anything like that. I was angry at myself. Why at yourself? LeBron asked, confused. Because of the timing, Lily explained. I'd just written that letter to my dad asking him to be more present. And then I got cancer, and suddenly he had to work even harder to pay for treatment. It felt like the universe was punishing him for my request, like I'd made everything worse by asking for more time together. Marcus's face showed pain. Lily, no. I know it's not logical, Lily continued. I know cancer doesn't work that way, but emotionally that's how it felt. I felt guilty for being sick, guilty for the bills, guilty for needing so much. She looked at LeBron. But then Dad told me what you did, how you paid for everything and gave him leave from work. And suddenly, the guilt disappeared, because you made it possible for us to have what I asked for, time together, without the stress and fear. Tears rolled down her cheeks. You gave me my dad back, LeBron. The dad who smiles and jokes and watches sunsets with me. The dad who's present. That's the greatest gift anyone could ever give me. LeBron felt his own eyes getting wet. He thought about his own kids, Bronny, Bryce, and Yuri. What would he do if one of them got sick? How hard would he fight? How far would he go? The answer was simple. He'd do anything, everything, whatever it took. That's what Marcus had been doing. Fighting with the only weapon he had, overtime hours and extra shifts. It just wasn't enough. Not against medical bills that could drown a family. But together, they were enough. Marcus's love plus LeBron's resources equaled a fighting chance. You know what I see when I look at you, Lily, LeBron said. What? A fighter, not just against cancer, but for what matters. You're fighting for time with your dad. You're fighting to understand your disease. You're fighting to keep your dreams alive. That's the kind of strength that changes the world. I don't feel that strong, Lily admitted. Most days, I'm just trying not to throw up. Everyone laughed, breaking the emotional tension. That's what real strength looks like, LeBron said. It's not about never being scared or never feeling weak. It's about showing up anyway, getting through the hard days, keeping hope alive even when things look dark. He pulled out his phone again. Can I show you guys something? He opened his photo app and scrolled to a picture. It showed a young LeBron, maybe 10 years old, wearing an oversized basketball jersey and holding a trophy. He was grinning at the camera, skinny and gap-toothed. This was taken right after my AAU team won a tournament, LeBron said. See that smile? I was so proud. But what you can't see in this picture is that I was also terrified. Of what? Lily asked. Of failing, LeBron said. Of letting down my mom, my coaches, the Walkers, everyone who believed in me. I was carrying so much pressure to succeed, to make it out of Akron, to become someone. That smile hid a lot of fear. He looked at Lily's list on the wall again. But you know what I wish I'd known back then? That being present matters more than being perfect. That the people who love you don't need you to be Superman. They just need you to be there. That's what I've been trying to tell Dad, Lily said, squeezing Marcus's hand. And your dad's listening, LeBron said. That's the important part. My mom listened too, eventually. She got help. She let people like the Walkers into our lives. She stopped trying to do everything alone. LeBron stood up and stretched. He'd been sitting for over an hour and his back was getting stiff. I should probably let you rest. I know chemo is exhausting. Will you come back? Lily asked. I mean, if you have time. I know you're busy with basketball and everything. I'll come back, LeBron promised. In fact, how about this? I'll come to your next treatment. We can play chess or cards or whatever you want. I'll even let you teach me about immunotherapy if you're up for it. Lily's face lit up. Really? Really? But I'm warning you, I'm very competitive. If we play chess, I'm playing to win. Good, Lily said with a grin. So am I. LeBron gave Marcus a hug, then gently hugged Lily, careful not to disturb her IV line. As he walked to the door, he turned back. Marcus, can I tell you something? Anything. That night I found you in the closet. That was supposed to be a quick stop at the arena. Grab my charger and go home. But I heard you crying and I couldn't walk away. You know why? Marcus shook his head. Because my mom used to cry like that, LeBron said. When she thought I was asleep. Deep, painful sobs that came from somewhere so broken inside her. I was just a kid and I didn't know how to help. I didn't have money or resources or connections. All I could do was pretend I didn't hear. His voice was thick with emotion. But now I'm not a kid anymore. Now when I hear someone crying like that, I can actually do something about it. I can show up. I can help. That's why I couldn't walk away from you, Marcus. Because in some way, helping you helps that little kid in Akron who couldn't help his mom. Marcus stood up and walked to LeBron. They embraced again, both men crying now. Thank you, Marcus whispered. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for caring. Thank you for letting me in, LeBron replied. You and Lily are teaching me as much as I'm helping you, maybe more. After LeBron left, Lily and Marcus sat quietly for a while. The IV drip continued its steady rhythm. Through the window, they could see downtown Los Angeles in the distance, buildings gleaming in the afternoon sun. Dad, Lily said. Yeah, baby. I think I'm going to beat this, she said. Her voice was calm, certain. I know the odds aren't perfect. I know there are no guarantees, but I really think I'm going to make it. What makes you so sure? Marcus asked. Lily thought for a moment. Because I have too much to live for, I have you. I have dreams of becoming a doctor and helping other kids with cancer. I have that list of places we're going to visit together. And now I have LeBron checking in on me. She smiled. The universe doesn't give you all that just to take it away. Marcus kissed his daughter's forehead. You're right, you're going to beat this. We're going to beat this. Together. Together, Lily agreed. As the chemotherapy drugs continued flowing into Lily's veins, fighting the cancer cells that threatened her life, Marcus realized something profound. A month ago, he'd been drowning in fear and isolation. He'd felt completely alone, like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. But he wasn't alone. He had Lily fighting with courage that amazed him every day. He had Dr. Okonkwo and the medical team. He had his supervisor David and his coworkers at Staples Center. And incredibly, impossibly, he had LeBron James, a man who could have walked past a crying janitor but chose to stop and listen instead. That choice, LeBron's choice to not walk away, had changed everything. It had given Marcus his life back. Not his old life of overtime shifts and exhaustion, but a new life. A better life. A life where he was present for the moments that mattered. He was finally truly there. And he was never leaving again. January 10, 2019. 3 weeks after LeBron's first visit, Marcus sat at the small kitchen table in his apartment, staring at a letter Lily had written to him. She'd left it on his pillow that morning before he woke up. The paper was decorated with little drawings of stars and moons in the margins. Lily always doodled when she wrote. The letter began, Dear Dad, there's something I need to tell you about Mom. Marcus's hands trembled as he read. His coffee sat untouched, growing cold. Lily was at school. She'd been feeling well enough to attend classes twice a week, though she tired easily and often went to the nurse's office to rest. Marcus had wanted to keep her home to protect her, but Lily insisted. I need to feel normal sometimes, she'd said, even if it's just for a few hours. Now Marcus read her words and his heart broke all over again. Dad, I've been thinking a lot about Mom lately. Maybe it's because of the cancer. Facing death makes you think about death. Or maybe it's because we've been spending so much time together and she's not here to share it with us. I was only 8 when Mom died. I don't remember as much as I wish I did. But I remember some things clearly. I remember how she laughed, this big, loud, joyful sound that filled up whatever room she was in. I remember how she'd dance in the kitchen while cooking, even if there wasn't any music playing. I remember how she made everything feel like an adventure, but I also remember the fights. You and Mom arguing about money. She wanted to travel, to try new restaurants, to take risks. You wanted to save, to be practical, to prepare for emergencies. You get so stressed when she spent money on unnecessary things. I was just a kid, but I understood. You were scared. Your family in Taiwan was poor. You came to America with nothing. The idea of not having savings terrified you. And Mom, she grew up comfortable. She didn't have the same fear. After she died, everything changed. You became even more focused on saving. Every penny went into the bank. You worked constantly. You never bought anything for yourself. No vacations, no celebrations, just work and save, work and save. Marcus's vision blurred with tears. Lily understood. Even as a child, she'd understood his fear. The letter continued. I know why you did it, Dad. You were trying to protect me. You were trying to make sure I'd never struggle the way you did. You were trying to honor Mom by giving me the secure future she wanted for me. But here's what I need you to know. Mom wouldn't want this. She wouldn't want you working yourself to death. She wouldn't want you missing life because you're so scared of losing everything. I found Mom's journal last year. It was in a box in your closet. I'm sorry I went through your things. In it, she wrote about how much she loved you, how she knew you were scared, but she wished you could see that memories matter more than money. She wrote that she'd rather have 10 years of adventures with you than 50 years of just surviving. Dad, Mom got 10 years with you, and then she was gone. No amount of savings could have prevented that car accident. No amount of practical planning could have saved her. Marcus put the letter down and pressed his hands against his eyes. June. Beautiful, joyful June. She'd wanted to live fully, and he'd been too scared to join her. He picked up the letter again. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you because I have cancer and it's taught me something. We don't know how much time we have. None of us do. Mom thought she had decades left. I thought I had my whole life ahead of me, but life doesn't work that way. These past few weeks with you have been the best of my life. Not because we're doing anything fancy, but because you're here. You're present. You're the dad I always wanted, the one who smiles and jokes and isn't constantly worried about money. But I'm scared, Dad. I'm scared that when I beat this cancer, and I will beat it, you'll go back to the old way. You'll start working double shifts again. You'll start saying we can't afford things. You'll stop being present because you're so focused on preparing for the next disaster. Please don't do that. Please don't waste the gift LeBron gave us. He didn't just pay our bills, he gave us permission to live, to be together, to make memories instead of just making money. Promise me, Dad. Promise me that whether I have 5 more years or 50 more years, we'll spend them living like Mom wanted us to, fully, joyfully, present. I love you so much, and I know you love me. You've shown me that in a million ways. Now show yourself some of that same love. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. Forgive yourself for the fights with Mom. Forgive yourself for the years you spent working instead of playing. You're a good man, Dad, the best man I know, and you deserve to be happy. Love always, Lily. Marcus folded the letter carefully and held it against his chest. He sat at the kitchen table for a long time, letting the tears come. Lily was right about everything. After June died, Marcus had built a wall around himself. A wall made of work and worry and constant preparation for disaster. He thought he was protecting Lily, but really, he was protecting himself from ever feeling the pain of loss again. If he worked all the time, he didn't have to think about June. If he focused on money, he didn't have to feel the emptiness she'd left behind. If he stayed busy, he didn't have to face how much he missed her. But in doing so, he'd missed Lily too. Not physically, he'd been there to feed her, house her, keep her safe. But emotionally, he'd been absent, locked away behind his wall of worry, until LeBron had broken through that wall. Marcus pulled out his phone. He scrolled to a photo from last week, him and Lily at the beach, both laughing at something silly. Lily's beanie had blown off in the wind and she was chasing it down the sand while Marcus laughed. A stranger had offered to take their picture, capturing the moment perfectly. In the photo, Marcus looked different than he had in years. His face was relaxed. His smile was genuine. He looked like a man who was happy, not just surviving. This was who he wanted to be. This was the father Lily deserved. This was the man June had fallen in love with before fear had hardened him. His phone buzzed. A text from Lily. Dad, did you read my letter? Are you mad? Marcus typed back quickly. Not mad, never mad. Thank you for being honest with me. We'll talk when you get home. I love you. 3 dots appeared then. I love you too. And Dad, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. Marcus smiled through his tears. That afternoon, Marcus did something he hadn't done in 8 years. He drove to the cemetery where June was buried. Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale. June's grave was under a large oak tree marked with a simple headstone, June Chen, 1972-2010. Beloved wife and mother, she lived fully. Marcus knelt beside the grave. He hadn't been here since the funeral. It was too painful, too final, but today he needed to come. He needed to talk to June. "Hi, baby," he said quietly. "I'm sorry it's been so long. I'm sorry for a lot of things." The cemetery was quiet except for birds singing in the trees and the distant sound of traffic on the freeway. "Lily has cancer," Marcus said, his voice breaking. "I wanted to tell you. Our beautiful girl is sick, but she's fighting, June. She's so brave. She's just like you, strong and determined and refusing to give up." He traced his fingers over June's name on the headstone. "I've been doing everything wrong," he admitted. "After you died, I got so scared, scared of losing everything, scared of not being able to provide for Lily, scared of feeling the pain of losing you, so I just worked. I worked and worked and worked. I thought that's what you would have wanted, security for Lily." A tear dropped onto the granite. "But that's not what you wanted, is it? You wanted me to live. You wanted us to make memories. You wanted adventures and joy and presents. And I forgot how to do any of that." Marcus sat down on the grass, leaning against the headstone. "Something happened last month. Something incredible. I was at my lowest point. Lily was sick. We had no money. I felt like I was failing everyone. And LeBron James found me crying in a closet at work." He laughed even as he cried. "I know it sounds crazy, but he did. And he helped us. He paid Lily's medical bills. He gave me time off work so I could be with her. He reminded me what actually matters." The wind rustled the oak tree's leaves. "I've been spending real time with Lily," Marcus continued. "We cook your dumpling recipe together. We go to the beach. We talk about everything, you, her fears, her dreams. And June, it's been the best month of my life since you died, because I'm finally present again. I'm finally the man you fell in love with." Marcus pulled Lily's letter from his pocket and read parts of it aloud to June's grave. When he finished, he folded it carefully. "She knows, June. Lily knows about our fights, about my fear, about everything. And she's not angry. She just wants me to be happy. She wants me to forgive myself." He stood up, brushing grass from his pants. "I don't know if Lily's going to beat this cancer. The odds are good, but nothing's guaranteed. You know that better than anyone, life can end in a second. But whether we have 5 years together or 50, I promise you I won't waste them. I'll be present. I'll make memories. I'll live the way you wanted us to live." Marcus placed his hand on the headstone. "I still love you, June. I'll always love you. But I'm ready to let go of the fear now. I'm ready to live again for Lily, for you, for myself." As he walked back to his car, Marcus felt lighter, like he'd been carrying a heavy backpack for 8 years and had finally set it down. When Lily came home from school that afternoon, Marcus was in the kitchen, not just making dinner, but really cooking, attempting June's complicated dumpling recipe with all the traditional ingredients he'd bought at the Asian market. "Dad," Lily called out, dropping her backpack by the door. "What's that smell?" "Dumplings," Marcus called back. "Or at least my attempted dumplings. They might be terrible." Lily appeared in the kitchen doorway, her eyes wide. The kitchen was a mess, flour everywhere, vegetables chopped on the counter, a pot of filling bubbling on the stove. "You're making Mom's dumplings?" Lily asked. "I'm trying," Marcus said, holding up a misshapen dumpling. "Mine don't look as pretty as hers did, but I figured it was time." Lily set down her school bag and washed her hands. "Let me help. Mom taught me some tricks before she died." They worked together, folding dumplings. Marcus's were lumpy and uneven. Lily's were better, though still not as perfect as June's had been. "I read your letter," Marcus said as they worked. "About Mom, about everything." "And?" Lily asked nervously. "And you're right," Marcus said simply. "About all of it. I did let fear control me. I did hide behind work. I did forget how to live." He put down the dumpling he was working on and turned to face Lily. "I went to visit Mom's grave today. First time since the funeral." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "Really?" "Really, I needed to talk to her, to apologize, to promise her I'd do better." "What did you say?" Lily asked. "I told her about you, about how brave and smart and amazing you are. I told her about LeBron and how he's helped us. And I promised her I wouldn't go back to the old way. No more hiding behind work. No more letting fear run my life." Marcus took Lily's flour-covered hands in his. "You asked me to promise you something in your letter, so here's my promise. Whether you beat this cancer in 6 months or we're fighting it for years, I will be present every single day. And when you do beat it, because you will, I won't go back to working double shifts. We'll travel to Taiwan. We'll take that cooking class. We'll do all the things your mom wanted us to do." Lily threw her arms around her father, getting flour all over both of them. "Thank you, Dad. That's all I wanted." They held each other for a long moment, standing in the messy kitchen that smelled like June's dumplings. "There's something else," Marcus said when they pulled apart. "Something I've never told you about your mom." "What?" Lily asked. Marcus walked to the living room and pulled out a box from the closet. Inside were June's things: journals, photographs, letters. "Your mom kept journals," Marcus said. "You mentioned finding them in your letter, but there's one you didn't find. One I kept separate because it was too painful to read." He pulled out a leather-bound journal, dark blue with gold edges. "This is from the last year of your mom's life, 2010. I've never opened it. I was too scared of what she might have written about our fights, about my fear, about how I disappointed her." "Do you want to read it together?" Lily asked gently. Marcus nodded. "Yeah, I think it's time." They sat together on the couch, the journal between them. Marcus opened to the first page. June's handwriting filled the paper, beautiful, flowing script. "January 1, 2010. New year, new decade. I have a feeling this will be a good year. Lily is 7 years old and already reading at a 5th grade level. Marcus is still working too hard, but I see glimpses of the man I married, the one who laughs and dreams. My resolution: help him remember how to be happy." Marcus's voice caught. "She was trying to help me." They read more entries. June wrote about Lily's school achievements, about small moments of joy, about her frustration with Marcus's fear. But every entry was filled with love. "March 15, 2010. Marcus and I had another fight about money today. I want to take Lily to Disneyland for her birthday. He says we can't afford it. Sometimes I want to shake him and scream, 'We can afford it. You just won't let yourself believe we can.' But I know where his fear comes from. His family was so poor in Taiwan. He'll never forget that hunger, that uncertainty. So I try to be patient, but I worry. I worry that he'll work his whole life and never actually live it. I worry that after I'm gone." The entry stopped abruptly, the sentence unfinished. The next entry was dated a week later with no explanation for the incomplete thought. "After I'm gone," Lily read quietly. She knew. Somehow she knew her time was short. They kept reading. More entries about Lily, about daily life, about June's hopes and fears. And then an entry from August 2010, just 2 months before June died. "August 22, 2010. If something happens to me, I need Marcus to know something. I need him to know that our life together, even with all the fights about money and all my frustration with his fear, has been beautiful. I wouldn't change a single day. I worry about what will happen to him and Lily if I'm not here. Not because Marcus isn't a good father, he is. He's the best father, but because I won't be there to remind him to live, to laugh, to take risks, to believe that some things matter more than money. If I could leave him one message, it would be this: Marcus, my love, please don't let fear win. Please don't work so hard that you forget to enjoy our daughter. Please don't save so much for the future that you miss the present. Lily doesn't need a perfect father or a rich father. She needs a present father. She needs you, the real you, not the scared version. And please, please forgive yourself for not being able to give us everything. You've given us more than enough. You've given us love. That's all that ever mattered." Marcus couldn't continue reading. He put his face in his hands and sobbed deep, painful sobs that came from 8 years of grief and guilt finally releasing. Lily wrapped her arms around him. "She loved you so much, Dad. She understood you. She wasn't angry." "I wasted 8 years, Marcus said through his tears. 8 years of being exactly what she didn't want me to be. 8 years of missing you because I was so focused on preparing for disasters that never came." "But you're here now," Lily said firmly. "You're present now. That's what matters. Mom would be proud of who you're becoming." Marcus looked at his daughter, thin from chemo, pale from exhaustion, but strong in ways that had nothing to do with physical health. "How did you get so wise?" he asked. "Good genes," Lily said with a small smile. "And a really good dad who's finally figuring things out." They sat together on the couch, June's journal between them as the sun set outside their window. In the kitchen, the dumplings were probably getting cold, but neither of them moved. This moment was too important. "Lily," Marcus said quietly. "Yeah." "I'm scared," he admitted. "I'm scared of losing you the way I lost your mom. I'm scared that no matter how present I am, it won't be enough. I'm scared that cancer will take you from me and I'll be alone again." Lily squeezed his hand. "I'm scared too, Dad, every single day. But you know what I realized? Being scared is okay. It's what we do with that fear that matters. We can let it control us, make us hide and work ourselves to death, or we can acknowledge it and choose to live anyway." "When did you get smarter than me?" Marcus asked. "Around 7th grade," Lily joked. They laughed together and it felt good. It felt like healing. "Dad," Lily said after a moment. "Yeah, baby. There's one more thing I need to tell you. Something that's been weighing on me. Something that makes all of this even harder." Marcus turned to look at her. "What is it?" Lily's expression became serious. "That night LeBron found you crying at the arena December 15th. Do you remember what you were thinking about? What had you so upset?" "Of course," Marcus said. "The hospital had called about the bill. They were threatening to send our account to collections. I was terrified they'd stop your treatment." "That's not all you were thinking about," Lily said quietly. Marcus froze. How did she know? "Dad, I know," Lily said, tears filling her eyes. "I know what you were planning to do." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "Lily, you were going to tell me to stop treatment," Lily said. "Weren't you?" The words hung in the air like a weight. Marcus couldn't speak, couldn't deny it. "I heard you on the phone with Dr. Okonkwo that afternoon," Lily continued. "Before you left for work, you asked her what would happen if we stopped treatment, how much time I'd have, what the end would look like." "Lily, I'm so sorry," Marcus started, but she held up her hand. "Let me finish," she said. "You were going to give me a choice. Keep fighting with all the debt and pain, or stop treatment and just spend whatever time we had left together. You were going to let me decide." Marcus nodded, tears streaming down his face. "I couldn't watch you suffer anymore. I couldn't take on more debt I'd never be able to pay. I thought maybe it would be more loving to let you choose, to not force you to keep fighting." "But you were hoping I'd choose to stop," Lily said, "because you thought it was the only way to be with me, to be present." "Yes," Marcus whispered. "God forgive me, yes." Lily took both of his hands in hers. "Dad, if LeBron hadn't found you that night, if he hadn't helped us, what would you have done?" Marcus looked at his daughter, this brave, brilliant girl who deserved every chance at life. "I would have come home," he said. "I would have told you the truth, about the bills, about my fear, about everything, and then I would have let you choose." "And I would have chosen to stop treatment," Lily said softly. The admission hung between them. "Not because I want to die," Lily continued, "but because I couldn't stand watching you destroy yourself to save me. I would have chosen whatever time we had left together over watching you work yourself to death while I suffered through treatment." Marcus pulled Lily into his arms. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." "Don't be sorry," Lily said into his shoulder. "You were trying to give me a choice. You were trying to love me the best way you knew how. But Dad, do you see how close we came? How close we came to giving up?" Marcus pulled back to look at her. "If LeBron hadn't walked past that closet, we might have given up our fighting chance," Lily finished. "Both of us. You because you thought you couldn't afford to keep fighting. Me because I thought I couldn't stand to watch you suffer." They held each other as the reality of what almost happened washed over them. They'd been so close to giving up, so close to letting fear and financial stress make an irreversible decision. "But he did walk past," Marcus said finally. "LeBron did hear me crying. He did stop. He did help. And now we're both still fighting." "Together," Lily said. "Together," Marcus agreed. They sat in silence for a long moment. Outside, the Los Angeles evening was settling in, lights coming on in windows, cars passing on the street, the city moving forward as it always did. "I'm going to beat this, Dad," Lily said with quiet determination. "Not just for me, for you, for Mom, for LeBron, for everyone who's helped us. I'm going to beat this cancer, and then I'm going to spend my life helping other families who are facing these same impossible choices." "You will," Marcus said. "I know you will." "And you're going to keep being present," Lily said. "Even when I'm better, even when things are back to normal, you're not going back to the old way." "Never," Marcus promised. "That version of me is gone. I'm a different person now, a better person." Lily smiled. "You were always a good person, Dad. You were just scared, but you're not letting fear win anymore." "No," Marcus agreed, "I'm not." They finally got up from the couch and went back to the kitchen. The dumplings were cold but salvageable. They reheated them and sat down to eat. The dumplings were lumpy and imperfect. Some were overcooked. Some were falling apart, but they tasted like home. They tasted like June's love. They tasted like hope. "Mom would laugh at these," Lily said, holding up a particularly misshapen dumpling. "She would," Marcus agreed. "But she'd eat every single one and say they were delicious." They ate together in the messy kitchen, talking and laughing and being present with each other. And somewhere, Marcus liked to think, June was watching, smiling at her husband and daughter finally living the way she'd always wanted them to live, fully, joyfully, together. He was finally, truly there, and he was never leaving again. January 23, 2019. Staples Center. LeBron James sat in the Lakers' locker room after practice, staring at his phone. He'd just gotten off a call with Dr. Okonkwo. The news wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. Lily's cancer was responding to treatment, but slower than they'd hoped. She'd need at least 2 more rounds of chemotherapy before they could even consider a bone marrow transplant. And the transplant itself came with serious risks. LeBron had faced pressure his entire life. Game-winning shots with seconds left on the clock. Championship finals. Contract negotiations. Media scrutiny. But none of that felt as heavy as worrying about a 16-year-old girl he barely knew but had come to care about deeply. His teammate, Kyle Kuzma, walked past and noticed LeBron's expression. "You good, Bron?" Kyle asked. LeBron looked up. He'd been keeping the situation with Marcus and Lily mostly private. A few teammates knew he was helping a family, but they didn't know the details. "Yeah," LeBron said. "Just thinking about something important." Kyle nodded and moved on. LeBron appreciated that his teammates gave him space when he needed it. LeBron's phone buzzed, a text from Marcus. "Lily's asking when you're coming to visit again. No pressure, but she says she has a chess strategy that will definitely beat you this time." LeBron smiled. "Tell her I'll be there Thursday, and her chess strategy won't work. I've been practicing." 3 dots appeared then. "She says you're going down." Her words, not mine. LeBron laughed. That girl had spirit. Even with cancer, even feeling sick from chemo, Lily had this fire in her that reminded LeBron of himself at that age. Determined, competitive, refusing to give up. His phone rang. It was Maverick Carter, his business manager and longtime friend. "Hey Mav," LeBron answered. "We need to talk about the Chen family situation," Maverick said. His tone was serious but not unkind. "What about it?" "The medical bills are higher than we initially thought. The hospital just sent over a complete breakdown. Between past bills, current treatment, and projected costs for the bone marrow transplant, we're looking at close to $300,000. LeBron didn't hesitate. "Pay it, all of it." "I figured you'd say that," Maverick said. "But LeBron, I need you to think about something. What happens when the media finds out? Because they will find out. Someone at the hospital will talk, or a paparazzi will see you visiting or something. And when it breaks, you're going to have every family with medical debt reaching out asking for help." "So," LeBron said. "So you can't save everyone," Maverick said gently. "I love what you're doing for this family. It's beautiful and it's right. But you need to prepare for what comes next. The criticism, the accusations of playing favorites, the thousands of requests you won't be able to fulfill." LeBron was quiet for a moment. He knew Maverick was right. The moment this became public, it would become complicated. "I don't care," LeBron said finally. "I can't save everyone, but I can save Lily. I can help Marcus. That has to be enough." "Okay," Maverick said. "Then we do it right. We set up a proper foundation fund for families facing similar situations. We create a system so it's not arbitrary. We make sure this is the beginning of something bigger, not just a one-time thing." "That's why you're my business manager," LeBron said. "You always see 3 steps ahead." "Someone has to," Maverick replied. "Now go win some games and give Lily my best." After they hung up, LeBron sat alone in the locker room thinking about what Maverick had said. It was true, he couldn't save everyone, but Marcus and Lily had come into his life for a reason. He truly believed that. That night in the closet, when he'd heard Marcus crying, LeBron could have walked away. He could have sent security to check on the situation. He could have done the minimum, but something had pulled him into that closet. Some instinct or divine intervention or simple human compassion. and now their lives were intertwined. Marcus and Lily weren't charity cases to LeBron. They were people he cared about. Lily was funny and smart and brave. Marcus was honest and hardworking and learning to forgive himself. They were real people with real struggles, and LeBron was honored to help them. His phone buzzed again. This time it was a text from Lily herself. "Mr. James, can I call you LeBron? Dad told me you're coming Thursday. I'm really looking forward to it. Also, I've been reading about your foundation and the I Promise School. It's amazing what you're doing for kids in Akron. You're proof that one person really can change lives. Thank you for changing ours. Lily." LeBron felt his eyes get wet. This girl, this incredible girl who should be worried about prom and college applications, was thanking him while fighting for her life. He texted back, "Of course you can call me LeBron, and thank you for those kind words, but I think you and your dad are teaching me more than I'm teaching you. See you Thursday. Bring your A game for chess." Lily's response was immediate. "I always bring my A game. You better do the same." Thursday, January 24, 2019. Children's Hospital Los Angeles, room 512. LeBron arrived at 2 p.m. with a backpack full of books, a chess set, and a special surprise he'd been planning. He knocked on the door. "Come in," Lily called. LeBron entered to find Lily in her usual recliner, IV in her arm, but she was dressed differently today. Instead of a hospital gown, she wore regular clothes, jeans, and a purple sweater. Her beanie was purple too, matching perfectly. "You look great," LeBron said. "I feel okay today," Lily said. "This is my 4th round of chemo. My body's kind of getting used to it. I mean, I'll still feel terrible later, but right now I'm good." Marcus stood and shook LeBron's hand. "Thanks for coming, man. You have no idea what these visits mean to her, to both of us." "Are you kidding? This is the highlight of my week," LeBron said, and he meant it. "Lakers have been struggling. We're barely above 500. Coming here reminds me what real strength looks like." LeBron pulled out the chess set and started setting it up on the rolling table between them. "Fair warning, I've been watching YouTube videos. I know the Italian opening now." Lily grinned. "Doesn't matter, I've been studying the Sicilian defense. You're doomed." They played chess while Marcus watched, occasionally offering commentary. Lily was genuinely good. She thought 3 or 4 moves ahead, setting traps that LeBron almost fell into. "Where'd you learn to play like this?" LeBron asked after Lily captured his knight. "Library," Lily said, studying the board. "There's this old man, Mr. Rodriguez, who volunteers there. He taught me when I was 12. He's a chess master, used to compete in tournaments. He says chess is like life. You can't control what your opponent does, but you can control how you respond." "That's deep," LeBron said. "Mr. Rodriguez is full of wisdom," Lily said. She moved her bishop. "Check." LeBron studied the board. He was in trouble. Lily had him cornered. 3 moves later, she called checkmate. "I told you," Lily said, but she wasn't gloating. She was just happy to have won. "Fair and square," LeBron admitted. "You destroyed me." "Want to play again?" Lily asked. "Definitely," LeBron said. "But first, I brought you something." He reached into his backpack and pulled out a manila folder. Inside were several documents. "What is this?" Lily asked. "Applications," LeBron said, "for summer science programs at UCLA, USC, and Stanford. They all have programs for high school students interested in medicine and genetics. I pulled some strings. If you're feeling well enough this summer, you're in. Full scholarships to whichever one you want." Lily's mouth dropped open. "Are you serious?" "Completely serious. I know you want to study genetics and help find cancer cures. These programs will give you hands-on research experience. You'll work in real labs with real scientists." Tears filled Lily's eyes. "But what if I'm not better by summer? What if I'm still doing treatment?" "Then we postpone to next summer," LeBron said. "Or the summer after that. These opportunities will wait for you." Marcus's voice was thick with emotion. "LeBron, this is too much. You've already done so much." "It's not too much," LeBron said firmly. "Lily has a gift. She's brilliant and she's going to do incredible things with that brain of hers. I'm just opening doors. She's the one who has to walk through them." Lily wiped her eyes. "I don't know what to say." "Say you'll keep fighting," LeBron said. "Say you'll beat this cancer and go to one of these programs and eventually find a cure that helps other kids. That's all I want to hear." "I will," Lily promised. I'm going to beat this, and then I'm going to change the world. I believe you, LeBron said. They played another game of chess. This time LeBron won, though he suspected Lily let him win on purpose. As they played, LeBron noticed Marcus watching his daughter with an expression of pure love and pride. This was so different from the broken man LeBron had found in that closet 5 weeks ago. Marcus smiled more now. He laughed at Lily's jokes. He was present in a way he clearly hadn't been before. "Marcus," LeBron said during the game, "can I ask you something?" "Anything." "What's changed for you? Like really changed? Besides the obvious stuff about bills and time off work?" Marcus thought for a moment. "Everything and nothing," he said finally. "The circumstances changed, you took away the financial pressure, but what really changed was me. I gave myself permission to be human, to be imperfect, to prioritize presence over preparation." He looked at Lily, who was concentrating on the chess board. "For 8 years after my wife died, I was operating from fear. Every decision was about preventing the next disaster. But you can't prevent disasters by working yourself to death. You can only prevent living." "That's profound," LeBron said. "I learned it from June, my wife, and from Lily, and from you," Marcus smiled. "You showed me that asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. I was trying to carry everything alone and I was drowning. You threw me a lifeline." "We're all drowning in something," LeBron said quietly. "That's why we need each other." Lily looked up from the chessboard. "Is that why you started the I Promise school? Because you know what it's like to need help?" "Exactly," LeBron said. "I was a kid who needed help. My mom needed help. People showed up for us. So now I show up for others. It's that simple." "But it's not simple," Lily said. "Caring costs something. Time, money, emotional energy. You have 3 kids of your own, a career, a million responsibilities. Why add us to your plate?" LeBron leaned back in his chair. "Can I tell you something about that night I found your dad?" Both Lily and Marcus nodded. "I was exhausted," LeBron admitted. "We just played Houston and they're always tough. My body hurt. I was ready to go home, but I'd forgotten my phone charger, so I went back to grab it. I could have sent an assistant, but something told me to go myself." He paused. "When I heard your dad crying, my first instinct was to keep walking. Not because I didn't care, but because I was tired and it seemed like too much. But then I remembered something my mom told me when I was young." "What did she say?" Lily asked. "She said, 'LeBron, you're going to be somebody important someday. When that happens, don't forget the people who are hurting. Don't forget what it feels like to need help. And when you have the power to change someone's life, don't walk past that opportunity.'" LeBron's voice was thick with emotion. "So I didn't walk past. I stopped. And in stopping, I found something I didn't even know I was looking for." "What's that?" Marcus asked. "Purpose beyond basketball," LeBron said. "Don't get me wrong, I love the game, but meeting you two reminded me why I do this. Not for championships or fame, for moments like this, for the chance to help people who are fighting battles nobody sees." Lily reached over and took LeBron's hand. "You saved our lives. You know that, right? Not just by paying bills. You saved my dad from giving up. You saved me from watching my dad destroy himself. You gave us hope when we had none." "You gave yourselves hope," LeBron corrected. "I just removed some obstacles. You're doing the hard work fighting the cancer, showing up for each other, choosing to live instead of just survive." "Can I ask you something?" Marcus said. "Sure." "What happens when people find out about this? When the media discovers you're helping us? Won't that create problems for you?" LeBron had been thinking about this exact question. "Probably," he admitted. "People will accuse me of playing favorites or ask why I'm not helping everyone. But here's what I've learned. You can't save everyone, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't save someone." He looked at both of them. "When this becomes public, and it will eventually, I'm going to tell your story, with your permission. I want people to know about families who face impossible choices because of medical debt. I want people to understand that insurance doesn't cover everything, that good people who work hard can still end up drowning in bills." "You want to use our story to help others," Lily said. "Only if you're comfortable with it," LeBron said quickly. "Your privacy is important, but yes, I think your story could inspire change. Maybe push for better healthcare policies or inspire other people with resources to help families in similar situations." Marcus and Lily exchanged a look. Some silent communication passed between them. "We'd be honored," Marcus said. "If our struggle can help other families, then it wasn't for nothing." "It was never for nothing," LeBron said. "But yes, together we can make something good come from this pain." They talked for another hour. Lily asked LeBron about his kids, his childhood, his dreams beyond basketball. LeBron asked Lily about her favorite books, her friends at school, what she wanted to study in college. It was easy conversation between people who genuinely enjoyed each other's company. Not celebrity and fan, not rich person and poor person. Just three human beings connecting over shared values and mutual respect. As LeBron prepared to leave, Lily stopped him. "Wait," she said, "I have something for you." She reached into the bag beside her chair and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "I wrote this last night. I want you to have it." LeBron unfolded the paper. It was a letter written in Lily's neat handwriting. "Dear LeBron, I've been trying to figure out how to thank you properly. Words don't feel like enough for what you've done for my dad and me. You didn't just pay our medical bills, though that's enormous and life-changing. You gave us something more valuable. You gave us time together. Before you found my dad that night, we were both drowning. Dad was drowning in debt and fear. I was drowning in guilt and sickness. We were in the same boat, but we couldn't reach each other because we were both barely keeping our heads above water. You didn't just throw us a life preserver. You climbed into the boat with us. You said, 'You're not alone, I'm here, we'll get through this together.' That's a gift I can never repay, but I can pay it forward. When I beat this cancer, and I will beat it, I'm going to dedicate my life to helping other families facing what we faced. I'm going to become a doctor or a researcher. I'm going to find better treatments and push for policies that prevent families from having to choose between medical care and financial survival. You've shown me what's possible when someone with resources decides to truly see another person's pain and respond with compassion. I want to be that person for others. So thank you. Not just for the money, though that's incredible. Thank you for seeing us, for stopping, for caring, for reminding my dad how to be present, for giving me hope. You're proof that heroes aren't just in comic books. Sometimes they wear Lakers jerseys. Sometimes they find janitors crying in closets. Sometimes they show up at hospital rooms with chess sets and summer program applications. I don't know what my future holds, but I know that whatever time I have, I'll spend it trying to make you proud. I'll spend it being the person you believed I could be. With eternal gratitude and love, Lily Chen. P.S. I'm still going to beat you at chess next time, just so we're clear." LeBron folded the letter carefully and put it in his pocket. His eyes were wet, but he didn't try to hide it. "This is the best thing anyone's ever given me," he said, his voice rough with emotion. "Better than any trophy or award. Thank you, Lily." He hugged her carefully, mindful of her IV line. Then he hugged Marcus. "I'll be back next week," LeBron said. "And Lily, I expect you to keep beating me at chess. Keeps me humble." "That's the plan," Lily said with a grin. As LeBron walked out of the hospital and toward his car, he pulled out his phone and called Maverick. "Yeah," Maverick answered. "Set up that foundation fund we talked about," LeBron said. "For families facing medical debt. I want it operational within a month. And Mav, make it big, like really big. I want to help as many families as possible." "Done," Maverick said. "This is good, LeBron, this is really good." "It's right," LeBron said. "That's all that matters." He drove home thinking about Lily's letter, about Marcus's transformation, about how one night in a closet had changed multiple lives. People often asked LeBron about his legacy, about how he wanted to be remembered. He used to think it was about championships, about being the greatest basketball player ever. But now he knew better. Legacy wasn't about trophies in a case or records in a book. Legacy was about the lives you touched, the people you helped, the families you saved when they were drowning. Marcus and Lily Chen would be part of his legacy, not because he'd paid their bills, but because he'd seen their humanity and responded to it, because he'd reminded a father how to be present and given a daughter hope for the future. That was worth more than any championship ring. That was what mattered. That night, LeBron sat with his own family at dinner. His wife Savannah, his sons Bronny and Bryce, his daughters Yuri. They were talking about their days, laughing at jokes, just being together. "Dad, you okay?" Bronny asked. "You seem quiet." LeBron smiled. I'm good, son, just thinking about how lucky I am. Lucky how? Jury asked. Lucky to have you all, LeBron said. Lucky to be healthy, lucky to be able to help people who need it. Savannah squeezed his hand under the table. She knew about Marcus and Lily. She'd supported LeBron's decision to help them from the beginning. You're a good man, she said quietly. I'm trying to be, LeBron replied. After dinner, LeBron went to his home office. On his desk was a framed photo, the one Lily had taken of him and Marcus at the hospital. Two men from completely different worlds, connected by compassion and circumstance. He pulled out Lily's letter and read it again. Then he wrote a response, Dear Lily. Your letter moved me to tears, but you have it backwards. I'm not the hero in this story. You and your dad both. You're 16 years old and facing death with courage I can barely comprehend. Your dad is learning to forgive himself and be present despite decades of fear. That's real heroism. I just have resources, that's all. Resources without compassion are meaningless, but you have both brilliant mind and beautiful heart. When you beat this cancer and become a doctor or researcher, you're going to change the world. I know it. Keep fighting, Lily. Keep being yourself. Keep beating me at chess. Keep reminding your dad what matters. Keep being the light in the darkness. And remember, you never have to thank me. Knowing you and your dad being part of your journey, that's my privilege. See you next week. I'll bring my A game. With respect and affection, LeBron. He sealed the letter in an envelope and made a note to drop it off at the hospital tomorrow. Then he sat back in his chair and thought about promises. He'd made a promise to Marcus and Lily that he'd be there, that he'd help them fight, that they wouldn't face this alone. It was a promise he intended to keep, not just until Lily beat cancer, not just until Marcus felt stable again, forever, because that's what family did. And somewhere along the way, Marcus and Lily Chen had become family. He was finally truly there, and he was never leaving again. February 14, 2019, Valentine's Day. Lily woke up in a different room at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, not room 512 where she'd spent so many chemotherapy sessions. This was room 304 in the intensive care unit. 3 days ago, during her 5th round of chemotherapy, Lily had developed a fever, a high fever, 103.8 degrees. In cancer patients undergoing chemo, fevers weren't just uncomfortable, they were dangerous, potentially deadly. Her immune system, already weakened by the drugs killing her cancer cells, couldn't fight off a simple infection. What would be a minor cold for most people became a life-threatening emergency for Lily. They'd rushed her to the ICU, antibiotics through IV, round-the-clock monitoring. Marcus hadn't left her side for 72 hours. On Valentine's Day morning, Lily opened her eyes to see her father asleep in a chair beside her bed. He was still wearing the same clothes from 3 days ago. His face was covered in stubble. Dark circles shadowed his eyes, but he was there. Dad, Lily whispered. Marcus's eyes snapped open immediately. He was on his feet in seconds, his hand reaching for hers. Lily, how do you feel? His voice was hoarse from lack of sleep. Tired, she admitted. Really tired, but the fever's gone, isn't it? I don't feel as hot. Marcus pressed the call button for the nurse, then touched Lily's forehead gently. You're cooler, much cooler. The antibiotics are working. A nurse named Patricia came in, checked Lily's vitals and smiled. 99.1 degrees. That's the lowest it's been in 3 days. You're turning a corner, sweetheart. After Patricia left, Lily looked at her father properly. Dad, you look terrible. Marcus laughed, a sound of relief and exhaustion. Thanks, you look pretty rough yourself. It was true. Lily's face was pale, almost gray. She'd lost more weight. Her cheekbones were sharp beneath her skin. The purple beanie that usually covered her head had fallen off during sleep, revealing the complete baldness underneath. Dark veins were visible in her thin arms where the IVs had been inserted and reinserted multiple times. I'm sorry, Lily said softly. For what? For scaring you, for getting sick, for all of this. Marcus sat on the edge of her bed, careful not to disturb the wires and tubes. Lily Chen, you listen to me. You have nothing to apologize for. Nothing. You didn't choose to get cancer. You didn't choose to develop a fever. You're fighting the hardest battle anyone could face, and you're doing it with more courage than I've ever seen. I don't feel courageous, Lily whispered. I feel scared all the time. Being scared and being brave aren't opposites, Marcus said. Being brave means being scared and doing it anyway. And baby, you're the bravest person I know. There was a knock at the door. Dr. Okonkwo entered, her usual warm smile in place despite the early hour. "Good morning, Lily," she said. "I hear your fever finally broke." "Just this morning," Lily said. Dr. Okonkwo checked the monitors, made notes on her tablet, then sat down in the chair Marcus had been sleeping in. "This was a close call," Dr. Okonkwo said gently but honestly. "Neutropenic fever, that's what we call it when chemo patients get infections, can be very serious. Your white blood cell count dropped dangerously low. You couldn't fight off even basic bacteria." "But she's going to be okay now, right?" Marcus asked, his voice tight with worry. "She's improving," Dr. Okonkwo said carefully. "The antibiotics are working and her fever is down. But Marcus, Lily, we need to have an honest conversation about what this means for treatment going forward." Lily felt her stomach drop. "What do you mean?" Dr. Okonkwo looked at both of them with compassion. "Lily, your body is struggling. 5 rounds of chemotherapy is a lot, especially at the intensity we've been using. This infection is your body's way of saying it needs a break." "How long of a break?" Lily asked. "At least 2 weeks, maybe 3. We need to let your immune system recover before we continue. And when we do continue, we might need to adjust the dosage. Lower intensity, spread out over a longer timeline." "But that means the cancer has more time to grow back," Lily said. She'd read enough to understand the strategy behind aggressive chemotherapy: hit the cancer hard and fast before it could develop resistance. "It's a balancing act," Dr. Okonkwo admitted. "We need to kill the cancer, but we can't kill you in the process. Right now, your body is telling us we push too hard." Marcus felt panic rising in his chest. "So what happens if we take a break? Does the cancer come back?" "Not necessarily," Dr. Okonkwo said. "Your last scans showed the cancer had decreased by about 65%. That's excellent progress. A 2-week break shouldn't undo all that work. But it does mean the overall timeline gets longer. Instead of being done with chemo by April, we might be looking at June or July." "And the bone marrow transplant?" Lily asked. "Also delayed," Dr. Okonkwo said. "We can't do a transplant until the cancer is reduced as much as possible and your body is strong enough to handle the procedure. Based on this setback, I'd estimate the transplant won't happen until late summer at the earliest." The room fell silent. Lily processed this information the way she processed everything, logically, practically. But beneath the logic, Marcus could see the fear in his daughter's eyes. "More time in limbo," Lily said quietly. "More months of not knowing if I'll make it." Dr. Okonkwo reached over and took Lily's hand. "I know this is scary. I know you want to get through this as fast as possible. But Lily, rushing could be more dangerous than waiting. We need your body strong enough to handle treatment." "Okay." Lily nodded, but tears filled her eyes. "Okay." After Dr. Okonkwo left, Lily and Marcus sat in silence. Outside the window, Lowe's Angels was waking up, sunrise painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. Valentine's Day, a day for celebrating love. "I'm tired of being brave," Lily said suddenly. "I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of pretending everything's okay when I feel terrible all the time." Marcus moved closer to her. "Then don't pretend. You don't have to be brave every second. You're allowed to be scared. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to cry and complain and feel sorry for yourself. I'll be brave enough for both of us when you can't be." Lily started crying, not quiet tears but deep sobs that shook her thin frame. Marcus held her carefully, letting her release months of fear and pain and exhaustion. "What if I don't make it, Dad?" she cried. "What if all this treatment, all this suffering, and I still die?" "You're not going to die," Marcus said firmly, but then he corrected himself. "But if you're scared you might, let's talk about it. What are you most afraid of?" Lily pulled back, wiping her eyes. "I'm afraid of leaving you alone. I'm afraid you'll go back to working all the time and forgetting to live. I'm afraid I won't get to become a doctor or fall in love or have kids. I'm afraid of all the things I'll miss." "Those are valid fears," Marcus said. "All of them. And I can't promise you won't miss things because I don't know the future. But I can promise you this. Whatever time we have, weeks, months, years, decades, we're going to fill it with love and presence and real living. No more survival mode. No more just getting by." "Promise?" Lily asked, sounding younger than her 16 years. Promise, Marcus said. And Lily, if something happens to you, which it won't, but if it does, I won't forget to live. You've taught me too much. I can't go back to the old way. It's impossible now. Lily rested her head on her father's shoulder. I'm not ready to die, Dad. I have too much I want to do. I know, baby, and you're going to do all of it, every single thing on your list and more. They sat together as the sun rose higher, filling the room with golden light. It was Valentine's Day, and they were in a hospital ICU instead of celebrating with chocolate and flowers. But they were together. They were present. And in that moment, that was everything. Later that morning, there was another knock at the door. Come in, Marcus called. The door opened, and LeBron James walked in carrying a huge bouquet of purple flowers and a bag from what looked like a bookstore. Happy Valentine's Day, LeBron said with a smile. Then he saw Lily's face and his expression changed. Whoa, what happened? Are you okay? Infection, Lily explained. High fever. I've been in ICU for 3 days. LeBron set down the flowers and bag and moved to her bedside. Why didn't anyone tell me? I would have come sooner. We didn't want to bother you, Marcus said. You've got games, your own family. Marcus, LeBron interrupted gently. We've been through this. You're not a bother, your family. When something happens, you call me. Got it? Marcus nodded, too emotional to speak. LeBron looked at Lily's monitors, her pale face, the exhaustion evident in her eyes. How scared should I be right now, on a scale of 1 to 10? Lily appreciated his honesty. About a 5. The fever's gone, the antibiotics worked, but my treatment is delayed, which is scary, and I feel terrible, which is also scary, but I'm not dying today. Good, LeBron said. Because I brought you Valentine's gifts, and it would be really awkward if you died before opening them. Despite everything, Lily laughed. That would be poor timing on my part. LeBron handed her the bag. Inside were 3 books, a novel called The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, a biography of Marie Curie, and a book about recent advances in cancer immunotherapy. I asked the bookstore person what a smart 16-year-old fighting cancer might like to read, LeBron explained. She recommended these. These are perfect, Lily said, looking through them. Thank you. The flowers are purple, LeBron said, because apparently that's your favorite color, and because purple is for royalty and you're fighting this battle like a queen. Lily smiled, but then her face became serious. LeBron, can I ask you something? Anything. Have you ever been really, truly scared, like afraid you might lose everything? LeBron pulled up a chair and sat down. Yeah, I have. When? LeBron thought back. 2010. I was deciding whether to leave Cleveland for Miami. I knew no matter what I chose, people would be angry. If I stayed in Cleveland and never won a championship, I'd be a failure. If I left Cleveland, I'd be a traitor. I was terrified of making the wrong choice. What did you do? Lily asked. I made the choice that felt right to me, even though it was hard. I went to Miami, and people were angry, really angry. They burned my jersey in the streets. They said terrible things about me. For a while, I wondered if I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. But you won championships in Miami, Lily said. I did, but that's not the point. The point is I was scared and I did it anyway. I faced the criticism and the anger and the fear, and I survived it. That's what courage is, not the absence of fear, but moving forward despite it. He looked at Lily directly. You're way braver than I was. I was just facing angry basketball fans. You're facing death. And you're still here, still fighting, still cracking jokes. That's real courage. I don't feel courageous, Lily admitted. I just feel tired. That's because you're using all your energy to fight, LeBron said. There's nothing left over to feel heroic. But trust me, from the outside looking in, you're a warrior. Marcus spoke up. LeBron's right. Lily, do you know what Dr. Okonkwo told me yesterday when you were asleep? What? She said she's worked with hundreds of cancer patients, and you're one of the strongest she's ever seen. Not physically. Obviously, the cancer and chemo have weakened you physically, but mentally, emotionally. She said most 16-year-olds would have broken down completely by now, but you're still reading research papers about immunotherapy. You're still asking questions about treatment options. You're still planning for the future. I don't know how else to be, Lily said. That's what makes you special, LeBron said. This is who you are, a fighter, a thinker, a planner. Cancer hasn't changed that. If anything, it's made those qualities stronger. They talked for a while longer. LeBron told them about the Lakers' recent games. They were struggling, losing more than winning. He was honest about his frustration with the season. But coming here, LeBron said, reminds me what real struggle looks like. I'm frustrated about basketball games. You're fighting for your life. Helps me keep perspective. Don't diminish what you do, Lily said. Basketball matters too. It brings joy to millions of people. That's not nothing. Thank you, LeBron said. But still, talking to you always grounds me, reminds me what's truly important. A nurse came in to check Lily's vitals again. While she worked, LeBron stepped out into the hallway with Marcus. How are you holding up? LeBron asked quietly. Marcus leaned against the wall, suddenly looking as exhausted as he felt. I'm terrified. When her fever hit 104, I thought I was going to lose her. I thought this was it. But you didn't lose her, LeBron said. She's still here, still fighting. For how much longer? Marcus asked, his voice breaking. How many more scares like this? How many more setbacks? What if the next infection is worse? What if the antibiotics don't work? LeBron put his hand on Marcus's shoulder. You can't think like that, man. You have to take it one day at a time. 1 hour at a time if you have to. Today, right now, Lily is okay. Her fever broke. She's improving. That's all you can focus on. I'm trying, Marcus said, but it's so hard. I look at her and she's so thin, so pale. She looks like a ghost of herself. She looks like someone fighting the hardest battle of her life, LeBron corrected. And she's winning, Marcus, slowly with setbacks, but she's winning. The cancer is decreasing. The treatment is working. You have to hold on to that. Marcus wiped his eyes. You're right, I know you're right. I'm so tired and so scared. I know, LeBron said, but you're not doing this alone. You've got Lily's medical team. You've got me. You've got people at Staples Center rooting for you both. You're not alone in this fight. They stood in the hallway for a moment, two men from different worlds united by compassion and circumstance. Thank you, Marcus said finally, for the flowers, for the books, for coming, for everything. That's what family does, LeBron said simply. When they went back into the room, Lily was sitting up a bit more, looking through the Marie Curie biography. Did you know, Lily said, that Marie Curie's research notebooks are still radioactive? They're stored in lead boxes and you need protective gear to look at them. She basically sacrificed her life for science. That's intense, LeBron said. She won 2 Nobel Prizes, Lily continued, in 2 different sciences, physics and chemistry, in the early 1900s when women weren't even allowed to vote. She's my hero. You could be like her, LeBron said, minus the radiation poisoning, hopefully. That's the plan, Lily said. Cure cancer without getting more cancer in the process. They all laughed and the tension in the room eased slightly. LeBron stayed for another hour talking about books and science and basketball. Eventually, Lily's eyes started drooping. The exhaustion was catching up to her. I should let you rest, LeBron said, standing up. Thank you for coming, Lily said sleepily. And for the gifts, they're perfect. Anything for you, LeBron said. He kissed her forehead gently. Keep fighting, warrior. The world needs you. Marcus walked LeBron to the elevator. Before LeBron got in, he turned to Marcus. She's going to make it, LeBron said with certainty. I know it in my bones. Lily's too strong, too determined, too brilliant not to beat this. You have to believe that too. I'm trying, Marcus said. Don't just try, believe it. Because Lily needs you to believe it. She needs to see confidence in your eyes, not fear. You're her rock, be steady. Marcus nodded. I will, I am. Good, LeBron said. He pressed the elevator button. Call me if anything changes, day or night, I mean it. I will, Marcus promised. As the elevator doors closed, Marcus felt a renewed sense of determination. LeBron was right. He couldn't let fear control him. He had to be strong for Lily. He went back to room 304. Lily was already asleep, the Marie Curie biography open on her lap. Marcus gently moved the book aside and pulled the blanket up to her chin. She looked so young when she slept, so vulnerable. It was hard to believe this tiny person was fighting such a massive battle inside her body. "I believe in you, baby girl," Marcus whispered. "You're going to beat this. You're going to live a long, beautiful life. You're going to become a doctor and cure cancer and change the world. I believe it with everything I am." He settled back into his chair beside her bed. He would stay there as long as she needed him. Days, weeks, months, whatever it took, because he'd made a promise. To Lily, to June's memory, to LeBron, and to himself. He would be present, he would be steady, he would be the father Lily deserved. The setback with the fever was scary, but it wasn't the end. It was just another challenge to overcome. Another obstacle in the long journey toward healing, and they would overcome it together. Marcus pulled out his phone and looked at the photo from the beach, him and Lily laughing, her beanie flying off in the wind. That was the future they were fighting for. More moments like that. More laughter, more sunsets, more life. He saved the photo as his phone background, a constant reminder of what they were fighting for. Then he reached over and took Lily's hand. Even in sleep, her fingers curled around his. "We've got this," Marcus whispered. "You and me, baby girl, we've got this." Outside the window, Valentine's Day continued in Los Angeles. People celebrating love, exchanging gifts, making promises to each other. In room 304 of the ICU, Love was a father holding his daughter's hand through another long night. Love was staying when leaving would be easier. Love was believing in survival when death felt close. That was the truest kind of love. The kind that didn't need flowers or chocolates or grand gestures. Just presence. Just commitment. Just showing up hour after hour, day after day, no matter what. Marcus was showing up. He'd been showing up for weeks now, and he would keep showing up for as long as Lily needed him. He was finally truly there, and he was never leaving again. Not for work, not for fear, not for anything. This was where he belonged, right here beside his daughter, fighting alongside her every step of the way. They would beat this together. He believed it. He had to. March 21, 2019. First day of spring. Lily stood in front of the mirror in the hospital bathroom, staring at her reflection. She barely recognized herself. The girl looking back was a stranger. No hair, not even eyebrows or eyelashes. Skin pale as paper, cheekbones sharp enough to cut glass, dark circles under her eyes that no amount of sleep could erase. The hospital gown hung off her thin frame like a tent. She looked like death, but she was alive. 6 weeks had passed since the fever scare in the ICU. 6 weeks of recovery, of rebuilding her immune system, of preparing her body for the next phase of treatment. Today, she was finally starting round 6 of chemotherapy, the last round before they could schedule the bone marrow transplant. Lily touched her reflection in the mirror. "You can do this," she whispered to herself. "Just one more round, then the transplant, then recovery, then life." There was a knock on the bathroom door. "Lily, you okay in there?" Marcus's voice, concerned as always. "Yeah, Dad, just giving myself a pep talk." "Need any help with that?" Lily opened the door. Marcus stood there with a smile, holding something behind his back. "What have you got?" Lily asked. Marcus brought his hands forward. He was holding a brand new purple beanie, softer and brighter than her old one, and a small wrapped gift. "Early birthday present," Marcus said. Lily's 17th birthday was next month, April 12th. "I know you probably won't feel great on your actual birthday, so I wanted to give you something now, while you're feeling stronger." Lily took the beanie and put it on. It fit perfectly. "I love it, thank you." "Open the other one," Marcus urged. Lily unwrapped the small gift. Inside was a silver necklace with a pendant, a double helix the shape of DNA. "It's beautiful," Lily breathed. "I saw it and thought of you," Marcus said. "You're going to be a genetic researcher someday. You're going to unlock the secrets hiding in that double helix and save lives. This is a reminder of that future." Lily put on the necklace, the DNA pendant resting against her chest, right over her heart. "I'm going to wear this every day, even during treatment." "Especially during treatment," Marcus said. "Let it remind you what you're fighting for." They walked together back to room 512, Lily's old room, the one she'd been in for most of her treatments. It felt like coming home in a strange way. The nurses knew her here. The chair was familiar. Even the view out the window, a parking lot and part of downtown Los Angeles, was comfortingly predictable. Dr. Okonkwo came in shortly after, her usual warm presence filling the room. "Big day," she said. "Last chemo session before transplant. How are you feeling, Lily?" "Nervous," Lily admitted, "but ready. I just want to get through this so we can move forward." Dr. Okonkwo sat down, her expression becoming more serious. I want to talk to you both about what comes next. The chemotherapy today will be intense. We're using a higher dose to make sure we kill as many cancer cells as possible before transplant. You'll probably feel worse than previous rounds. How much worse? Marcus asked. Significant nausea, extreme fatigue, possible mouth sores, temporary organ stress. We'll monitor you closely, but it won't be pleasant. It's never pleasant, Lily said, but if it works, it's worth it. That's the spirit, Dr. Okonkwo said. Now about the transplant. We've been testing potential donors. Marcus, you're a 98% match, which is excellent. The transplant is scheduled for May 15th, assuming everything goes well with this final chemo round. What happens during a bone marrow transplant? Marcus asked. He'd read about it, but he wanted to hear it directly from the doctor. First, we'll harvest bone marrow from Marcus, Dr. Okonkwo explained. It's a surgical procedure where we extract marrow from his hip bones. He'll be under anesthesia, so he won't feel it, but he'll be sore for a few days afterward. I can handle that, Marcus said immediately. Then, Lily, you'll undergo what we call conditioning. Basically, extremely high-dose chemotherapy and possibly radiation to kill off your remaining bone marrow, both healthy and diseased. This will essentially destroy your immune system. Lily swallowed hard. That sounds scary. It is scary, Dr. Okonkwo said honestly. You'll be extremely vulnerable to infection. You'll stay in isolation for several weeks, but then we'll transplant your dad's healthy marrow into your body through an IV, just like a blood transfusion. His stem cells will travel to your bones and start making new, healthy blood cells. How long until we know if it worked? Marcus asked. The first signs of engraftment, that's when the new marrow starts working, usually happen within 2 to 4 weeks. Full recovery can take 6 months to a year. During that time, Lily will need to be very careful about infections, avoid crowds, eat special food. It's a long process. But if it works, Lily said, the cancer should be gone permanently. That's the goal, Dr. Okonkwo said. Bone marrow transplants for AML have about a 70% long-term success rate when we have a good donor match. Those are solid odds, Lily. 70%. That meant a 30% chance of failure. A 30% chance that after everything, all the chemo, all the suffering, all the fighting, it might not work. But it also meant a 70% chance of survival, of beating this, of having a future. I'll take those odds, Lily said firmly. The chemotherapy started at 1 p.m. As the purple liquid dripped into Lily's veins, Marcus sat beside her, holding her hand. Tell me a story about Mom, Lily said. Something I don't know. Marcus thought for a moment. Did I ever tell you about the time your mom tried to teach me to surf? No, Lily said, smiling already. We were dating. This was before we got married, maybe 1994. Your mom loved the beach. She grew up going to the ocean every weekend. Me. I grew up in Taiwan where the beaches are different, and then in Los Angeles where I was too busy working to go to the beach. So she convinced you to try surfing. More like dragged me, Marcus laughed. She bought me board shorts and rented surfboards and drove us to Malibu at 6 in the morning. I was terrified. The waves looked huge to me. Were you any good? Lily asked. Terrible, Marcus admitted. I couldn't even stand up on the board. I kept falling off. Swallowed so much ocean water I probably drank half the Pacific. Your mom, though, she was amazing. She looked like she was born on a surfboard. Did you ever learn? Never, Marcus said. But you know what? I didn't care. Because watching your mom surf, seeing her so happy and free and alive, that was worth all the falling and the salt water and the bruises. She'd ride a wave and then paddle back to me, laughing so hard, and I'd think, this is it. This is what happiness looks like. Lily squeezed her father's hand. She sounds amazing. She was, Marcus said. And you're just like her. Same fearless spirit, same determination, same ability to find joy even when things are hard. They sat quietly for a while, watching the IV drip. Time passed slowly in the hospital. Seconds felt like minutes. Minutes felt like hours. Around 4 p.m., LeBron arrived. He texted earlier asking if he could visit, and Lily had enthusiastically said yes. How's the warrior doing? LeBron asked, pulling up his usual chair. Poisoning myself for the greater good, Lily said with a weak smile. You know, the usual Thursday activities. LeBron laughed. I brought reinforcements. He pulled out a tablet. I downloaded about 50 movies. We can watch whatever you want. Marvel, comedies, documentaries about science, I got it all. Really? Lily's eyes lit up. You're going to watch movies with me? I've got nowhere else to be, LeBron said. Lakers aren't making the playoffs this year. Season's basically over, so I'm all yours. They ended up watching Hidden Figures, the movie about black female mathematicians who worked at NASA. Lily loved it. The science, the history, the story of brilliant women fighting for recognition in a world that underestimated them. That's going to be you, LeBron said when it ended. Breaking barriers, changing the world through science. From your mouth to God's ears, Lily said. As evening approached, Lily started feeling the effects of the chemotherapy. Nausea hit first, then exhaustion. Marcus held a bucket while she vomited. LeBron quietly got ice chips from the nurse's station. This was the ugly reality of treatment, not heroic or inspiring, just painful and messy and hard, but they were all there. Marcus steady and present, LeBron supporting without judgment, the nurses efficient and kind. Lily wasn't suffering alone. I hate this, Lily said weakly after another round of vomiting. I hate feeling like this. I know, Marcus said, wiping her mouth with a damp cloth. But this is the last time, last chemo before transplant. You just have to get through today, then tonight, then tomorrow, just one day at a time. 1 hour at a time, Lily corrected. 1 minute at a time. Do minutes, Marcus agreed. LeBron stayed until 8 p.m. Before leaving, he knelt beside Lily's chair so they were eye level. You know what I see when I look at you, he asked. A bald, puking teenager, Lily joked weakly. A champion, LeBron said seriously. I've won 4 NBA championships. I've played in 9 finals. I've faced the best players in the world. But Lily, what you're doing right now is harder than anything I've ever done. You're a champion in every sense of the word. Tears filled Lily's eyes. I don't feel like a champion. Champions rarely do in the moment, LeBron said. When I'm on the court in Game 7, exhausted and hurting, I don't feel like a champion. I feel scared and tired. But I push through anyway. That's what you're doing. That's what makes you a champion. He stood up and hugged Marcus. Call me if you need anything. I mean it. 3 in the morning doesn't matter. I'm here. Thank you, Marcus said, for everything. After LeBron left, the night stretched long. Lily dozed fitfully between bouts of nausea. Marcus stayed awake, monitoring her, ready to help whenever she needed him. Around 2 a.m., Lily woke up suddenly. Dad. I'm here, baby. What do you need? Nothing, I wanted to make sure you were still here. I'm not going anywhere, Marcus promised. I'll be here when you wake up in the morning, and the morning after that, and every morning until you don't need me anymore. I'll always need you, Lily whispered. Then I'll always be here, Marcus said. Lily fell back asleep and Marcus watched her breathe, in and out, each breath a small victory, each moment alive a gift. He thought about everything that had brought them to this moment, June's death, his years of working himself to exhaustion, Lily's diagnosis, that night crying in the closet, LeBron stopping to listen. All of it, the pain and the fear and the struggle, had led to right now. This hospital room at 2 a.m. with Marcus holding vigil over his sleeping daughter. And in a strange way, Marcus was grateful. Not for the cancer, he would never be grateful for that, but for what the journey had taught him about presence, about love, about what truly mattered. He'd spent 8 years after June died trying to prepare for disaster, trying to prevent loss through careful planning and constant work. But you couldn't prevent loss. It came anyway, unexpected and devastating. What you could do was be present for the time you had. Love fully, show up completely. Make memories that would last even after people were gone. That's what he was doing now, being present. And no matter what happened, whether Lily beat this cancer or whether the unthinkable occurred, Marcus would have no regrets. He'd shown up. He'd been the father she deserved. He pulled out his phone and looked at photos. Lily at the beach. Lily laughing while making dumplings. Lily teaching him to use her iPad. Lily wearing her new DNA necklace. These were the moments that mattered, not the overtime shifts or the money saved or the bills paid. This, right here, love made visible through presence. I'm here, baby girl, Marcus whispered into the quiet room. I'm here and I'm never leaving. April 12, 2019. Lily's 17th birthday. She woke up in her own bed at home, a small miracle. Dr. Okonkwo had cleared her to spend her birthday at home rather than in the hospital, as long as she avoided crowds and was careful about germs. The apartment was decorated with purple streamers and balloons. Marcus had stayed up late the night before, making the place festive. "Happy birthday," Marcus called from the kitchen. Lily walked out of her bedroom wearing pajamas and her new purple beanie. She was still thin and pale, still recovering from the last chemo round, but she was smiling. On the kitchen table was a birthday cake, homemade, slightly lopsided, with "Happy 17th Lily" written in purple frosting. "You made a cake?" Lily asked, surprised. "Your mom's recipe," Marcus said proudly. "Chocolate with raspberry filling. I had to watch 3 YouTube tutorials, but I think I got it right." Lily hugged her father tight. "It's perfect." They had breakfast together, scrambled eggs and toast, nothing fancy. Then Marcus pulled out a wrapped gift. "Another present?" Lily asked. "Open it," Marcus urged. Inside was a framed photograph. It showed June, Marcus, and baby Lily at the beach. June was holding infant Lily up toward the sun, both of them laughing. Marcus stood beside them, his arm around June's waist, looking at his wife and daughter with pure love. "I found this in one of Mom's old photo albums," Marcus said. "I had it restored and framed. I thought you should have it." Lily stared at the photo, tears filling her eyes. "We look so happy." "We were happy," Marcus said. "And we're going to be happy again. Different but happy. After the transplant, after you recover, we're going to make new memories. Maybe not at the beach with Mom, but good memories. Real memories." "Promise?" Lily asked. "Promise," Marcus said. Around noon, there was a knock at the door. Marcus opened it to find LeBron standing there with a huge gift bag and wearing a party hat. "Someone ordered a birthday LeBron," he joked. Lily burst out laughing. "You came." "Of course I came. It's not every day someone turns 17. That's a big deal." LeBron handed Lily the gift bag. Inside was a Lakers jersey, custom-made with CHEN and the number 17 on the back. "For your 17th birthday," LeBron explained. "And because you're officially part of the Lakers family now." "This is amazing," Lily said, holding up the jersey. "I'm going to wear this after the transplant when I'm feeling better." "You better," LeBron said. "I want to see pictures." They spent the afternoon together. LeBron had brought board games and they played Monopoly at the kitchen table. Marcus made lunch, June's dumpling recipe, which he'd finally perfected. They ate and laughed and celebrated Lily being alive for 17 years. At one point, Lily became quiet. She looked at Marcus and LeBron sitting at the table, talking and joking like old friends. "What are you thinking about?" Marcus asked, noticing her expression. "I'm thinking about how different this birthday is from last year," Lily said. "Last year I was healthy, but you were working a double shift. You called during your break to wish me happy birthday, but you weren't there. And I understood why. You were working to provide for us. But it was lonely." She looked around the decorated apartment. "This year, I have cancer and I'm bald and I feel terrible. But you're here, Dad, really here. And somehow LeBron James is sitting at our kitchen table eating dumplings. It's the best birthday I've ever had." Marcus's eyes filled with tears. "Really?" "Really," Lily confirmed. "Because the best gift isn't stuff, it's people showing up, and you're both showing up." LeBron raised his water glass. "To Lily, 17 years old today, about to kick cancer's ass and destined for greatness." They all clinked glasses, water for Lily and Marcus, who didn't drink alcohol, and water for LeBron, who was staying healthy for the off-season. "To kicking cancer's ass," Lily agreed. As the sun set, LeBron prepared to leave. He hugged Lily carefully. "1 month until transplant," he said. "You're going to do great. Your dad's marrow is going to save your life, and then you're going to save countless other lives through your work." "How do you know?" Lily asked. "Because I believe in you," LeBron said simply. "And I'm never wrong about people." After LeBron left, Lily and Marcus sat on the couch together, the Lakers jersey draped over Lily's lap. "Dad," Lily said. "Yeah. Thank you for this birthday, for the last few months, for becoming the dad I always knew you could be." Marcus pulled her close. "Thank you for not giving up on me, for writing that letter, for being patient while I figured things out." "We figured it out together," Lily said. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the lights of Lowe's Angels twinkle through the window. In 1 month, they would face the bone marrow transplant, the biggest challenge yet. But tonight, they were just a father and daughter celebrating another year of life. "I'm going to beat this," Lily said quietly. "The transplant is going to work. I'm going to recover. And then I'm going to medical school. And I'm going to find a cure so no other family has to go through what we've been through." "I believe you," Marcus said, "every word." And he did believe it, not because the odds were guaranteed or because the future was certain, but because Lily was a fighter, because she had support and love and the best medical care, because miracles happen every day and they were due for one. They would face whatever came next together, father and daughter, present and committed, fighting side by side. The chemotherapy was done, the transplant was scheduled. The hardest part was still ahead, but they were ready. They had each other. They had LeBron. They had hope. And sometimes hope was enough to carry you through the darkest nights into the light of morning. Marcus looked at his daughter, 17 years old today, bald and thin but alive and smiling. "Happy birthday, baby girl," he whispered. "Best birthday ever," Lily whispered back. And despite everything, the cancer, the chemo, the fear, it was true because love was present. And presence was everything. He believed it. He had to, but more than that, he knew it. He was finally truly there. And he was never leaving again. Not now, not ever. This was his promise, his purpose, his life's work. Being Lily's father, being present, being exactly what she needed. And in 1 month, he would literally give her part of himself, his bone marrow, his stem cells, his fighting chance at life. Father and daughter connected not just by blood but by bone. Connected by love that refused to give up. Connected by presence that would last forever, no matter what came next. Together they would face the transplant. Together they would fight. Together they would win. He believed it, and that belief would carry them through. May 14, 2019, the day before the transplant, Marcus sat in a pre-surgery consultation room at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, wearing a hospital gown and feeling more nervous than he'd felt in his entire life. Tomorrow morning, doctors would put him under anesthesia and extract bone marrow from his hip bones. They would use large needles to draw out the spongy tissue that produced blood cells. It would hurt afterward. The doctors had been honest about that. He'd be sore for days, maybe weeks, but his pain didn't matter. What mattered was that his bone marrow would save Lily's life. Dr. Okonkwo entered the room with a younger Dr. Marcus hadn't met before, Dr. Stephen Park, the transplant surgeon who would perform Marcus's procedure. "How are you feeling, Marcus?" Dr. Park asked, shaking his hand. "Nervous," Marcus admitted, "but ready." "That's normal," Dr. Park said, sitting down. "Let me walk you through exactly what will happen tomorrow. We'll put you under general anesthesia around 7 a.m. The procedure takes about an hour. We'll insert needles into your hip bones, usually the posterior iliac crest, which is right here." He pointed to his lower back. "We'll extract about 1 liter of bone marrow." "A liter?" Marcus asked. "That sounds like a lot." "It is a significant amount," Dr. Park agreed. "But your body will regenerate it within 4 to 6 weeks. The human body is amazing that way. And this will be enough to save Lily." "More than enough," Dr. Okonkwo interjected. "We only need about 20 milliliters per kilogram of Lily's body weight. She weighs about 45 kilograms now, so we need about 900 milliliters. We always extract a bit extra just in case, but yes, what we take from you will absolutely be sufficient." Marcus nodded, processing this information. Tomorrow, part of him would become part of Lily. His cells would flow through her body, building new blood, creating new life. "What happens to Lily while I'm in surgery?" Marcus asked. "She'll begin her conditioning regimen," Dr. Okonkwo said, her expression becoming more serious. "This is the hardest part, Marcus. We'll give Lily extremely high doses of chemotherapy, much higher than anything she's received before. We're essentially destroying her entire immune system, both the healthy parts and the cancerous parts." "Will she be okay?" Marcus asked, fear rising in his chest. "She'll be very sick," Dr. Okonkwo said honestly. "The conditioning makes patients extremely ill. Nausea, weakness, mouth sores, organ stress. Lily will be in isolation during this time to prevent infection. She won't be able to see you until you've both recovered enough from your procedures." "How long until I can see her?" "Probably 2 to 3 days. You'll need to recover from your surgery and she'll need to stabilize after conditioning. But Marcus, I need you to prepare yourself. When you do see her, she'll look worse than she ever has. The conditioning is brutal." Marcus felt tears threatening. She's been through so much already. "She has," Dr. Okonkwo agreed, "but she's also incredibly strong, and this is her best chance at a cure. After the transplant, after the engraftment, she'll start building a new immune system from your healthy cells, cancer-free cells." "And the success rate?" Marcus asked, even though he already knew. "About 70% for long-term disease-free survival with a good donor match," Dr. Okonkwo said. "Those are good odds, Marcus, better than most cancer treatments." But Marcus heard the unspoken truth: 30% chance of failure. 3 in 10 patients didn't make it. He couldn't think about that. He had to focus on the 7 in 10, on Lily being one of the success stories. "I'm ready," Marcus said firmly. "Whatever Lily needs from me, I'll give it." "I know you will," Dr. Okonkwo said with a warm smile. "That's why you're the perfect donor, not just because your marrow matches, but because your love matches. Lily is lucky to have you as her father." After the consultation, Marcus went to Lily's room. She was already moved to the transplant unit, a specialized floor with enhanced isolation protocols. He had to scrub his hands thoroughly and wear a mask before entering. Lily sat on her bed, wearing her purple beanie and her Lakers jersey with CHEN 17 on the back. She looked small and scared, but when she saw Marcus, her face lit up. "Dad," she said, her voice thick with emotion, "tomorrow's the day." "Tomorrow's the day," Marcus confirmed, sitting carefully on the edge of her bed. "How are you feeling?" "Terrified," Lily admitted. Dr. Okonkwo explained the conditioning. "It sounds worse than all the chemo I've done combined." "It'll be worth it," Marcus said. "A few terrible days in exchange for the rest of your life cancer-free. That's a good trade." "I know, Lily's voice broke. "What if it doesn't work? What if I go through all this and the cancer comes back anyway? What if I die and you gave me your bone marrow for nothing?" Marcus took both of Lily's hands in his. "First, you're not going to die. Second, even if the worst happened, which it won't, giving you my marrow would never be for nothing. Lily, you're my daughter. You're my whole world. I would give you every drop of bone marrow, every organ, every cell in my body if it meant even one more day with you." "Dad." "Let me finish," Marcus said. "For 16 years of your life, I wasn't fully present. I was working, worrying, preparing for disasters that mostly never came. But these last 6 months, really being here with you, making dumplings and going to the beach and sitting through chemo treatments, these have been the best months of my life." Tears rolled down Marcus's face. "So even if tomorrow doesn't work, which it will, I will never regret this time. I will never regret finally becoming the father you deserved. You've given me that gift, Lily. You've taught me how to live, not just survive." Lily threw her arms around her father, both of them crying now. "I love you so much, Dad." "I love you more than words can express," Marcus whispered. "You're my miracle, my purpose, my reason for everything." They held each other for a long time. Outside the window, the sun was setting over Los Angeles, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. "Do you think Mom is watching?" Lily asked quietly. "I know she is," Marcus said, "and she's so proud of you. Proud of your strength, your courage, your brilliant mind. She's probably up there telling everyone, 'That's my daughter, that's my baby girl.'" Lily smiled through her tears. "I wish she was here." "Me too," Marcus said, "but in a way she is. Every time you laugh like she did, every time you show her fearless spirit, every time you find joy in small moments, she's here. She lives on in you." There was a knock at the door. LeBron walked in, also wearing a mask and looking more serious than Marcus had ever seen him. "I hope I'm not interrupting," LeBron said. "Never," Lily said, wiping her eyes. "Come in." LeBron sat down in the chair beside the bed. He looked at Lily, so thin in her Lakers jersey, so young and vulnerable, and Marcus could see emotion in his eyes. "I wanted to see you before tomorrow," LeBron said. "Before everything gets intense, I wanted to tell you something important." "What?" Lily asked. "I've been thinking a lot about our first conversation," LeBron said. "When I came to visit you that first time in the hospital and you asked me about facing fear. Remember?" Lily nodded. "You asked if I'd ever been really scared, and I told you about leaving Cleveland for Miami. But that wasn't completely honest. There's something scarier I faced. What? Lily asked. In 2014, my mom had some health issues, LeBron said, his voice quiet. Nothing as serious as what you're dealing with, but scary enough. And for the first time in my adult life, I felt helpless. I had all this money, all these resources, but I couldn't fix what was wrong with her. I couldn't make her better just by willing it to happen. He looked directly at Lily. It was terrifying, watching someone you love suffer and not being able to stop it. That's a special kind of fear. What did you do? Lily asked. I did the only thing I could do, LeBron said. I showed up, I sat with her, I held her hand. I reminded her she wasn't alone, and eventually she recovered. But that experience taught me something. Presence is the most powerful thing we can offer each other. LeBron reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. He handed it to Lily. What's this? She asked. Open it. Inside was a gold bracelet with an inscription, Warrior, Champion, Survivor. I had it made for you, LeBron said, to wear tomorrow during the transplant. A reminder that you're all three of those things. You've been a warrior through every treatment. You're already a champion just by fighting this hard, and you will be a survivor. Lily put on the bracelet, her hands shaking. LeBron, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, LeBron replied. Just promise me you'll keep fighting. Tomorrow's going to be hard. The conditioning is going to be brutal. The recovery will be long, but you're strong enough to handle all of it. How do you know? Lily asked, her voice small. Because I've watched you for 6 months, LeBron said. I've seen you face things that would break most people. You've cried and struggled and felt terrible, but you never gave up. You're made of something special, Lily, something unbreakable. Marcus watched this exchange with gratitude overwhelming his heart. 6 months ago, he'd been crying alone in a closet, convinced he was going to lose everything. Now LeBron James, one of the most famous people in the world, was sitting in his daughter's hospital room, giving her a gold bracelet and calling her a warrior. Life was strange, beautiful and terrible and strange. Thank you, Lily whispered to LeBron, for everything, for helping my dad, for paying our bills, for visiting me, for believing in me. That's what family does, LeBron said simply. And your family now, you and Marcus both. That doesn't end when you beat this cancer. We're connected for life. He stood up and hugged Lily carefully, then hugged Marcus. I'll be here when you wake up from surgery tomorrow, LeBron told Marcus. And I'll be checking on Lily every day during her conditioning. You're not doing this alone. I don't know how we got so lucky, Marcus said, his voice breaking. It's not luck, LeBron said. It's love. It's people choosing to show up for each other. That's more powerful than luck. After LeBron left, a nurse came in to check Lily's vitals one final time before lights out. Her name was Sandra, and she'd been Lily's primary nurse throughout most of her treatment. Big day tomorrow, Sandra said with an encouraging smile. You ready, sweetheart? As ready as I'll ever be, Lily said. You're going to do great, Sandra said. I've been a transplant nurse for 15 years. I've seen hundreds of patients go through this. And you know what? The ones who make it are the ones with something to fight for. You've got a dad who loves you more than life itself, friends who support you, dreams for your future. That's worth fighting for. After Sandra left, Marcus helped Lily settle into bed. He adjusted her pillows, made sure her water cup was full, checked that her phone was charging. Dad, Lily said as he fussed over her, I need to tell you something I've been scared to say. Marcus sat down, his heart pounding. What is it? If something goes wrong tomorrow, Lily began. Nothing's going to go wrong, Marcus interrupted. But if it does, Lily continued firmly, I need you to promise me something. Anything. Promise me you won't go back to the old way, Lily said, her eyes intense. Don't go back to working all the time and hiding behind fear. Don't waste the rest of your life preparing for disasters. Live, Dad, really live, for both of us. Marcus felt like his chest was being crushed. Lily. Promise me, she insisted. Promise me that whether I'm here or not, you'll keep being the person you've become. The person who goes to the beach and makes dumplings and lets himself be happy. I promise, Marcus said, though the words tore at his heart. But I won't need to keep that promise because you're going to be fine. You're going to beat this and we're going to make a million more memories together. "I believe that," Lily said. "But just in case, I needed to hear you promise." Marcus leaned down and kissed his daughter's forehead. "I love you more than anything in this world. You know that, right?" "I know," Lily said. "And Dad, these last 6 months, really having you present have been the best gift of my life. Better than beating cancer would be. Because I got to really know my dad. The real you, not the scared, overworked version, just you." "You've given me that same gift," Marcus said. "You've shown me what matters, what's worth fighting for, how to be brave even when I'm terrified." They sat together in the quiet hospital room as night fell over Los Angeles. Tomorrow would bring pain and fear and uncertainty, but tonight they had this moment, this presence, this love. "Try to get some sleep," Marcus finally said. "You need rest for tomorrow." "Will you stay?" Lily asked. "Just until I fall asleep." "I'll stay as long as you need me," Marcus promised. He sat beside her bed, holding her hand, watching her breathe. Eventually, Lily's breathing deepened and slowed. She was asleep, but Marcus didn't leave. He stayed in that chair all night, keeping vigil over his daughter on the eve of the biggest battle of their lives. He thought about everything that had led to this moment. June's death, his years of grief, Lily's diagnosis, that night in the closet when LeBron found him, every chemotherapy session, every moment of fear and pain and hope. It all came down to tomorrow. Tomorrow his bone marrow would be harvested. Tomorrow Lily would undergo conditioning that would destroy her immune system. Tomorrow they would both suffer so that she might live. But they wouldn't suffer alone. They had each other. They had LeBron. They had an entire medical team fighting for Lily's survival. And they had something else, something that couldn't be measured or quantified but was more powerful than any medicine. They had love. Present, committed, unwavering love. The kind of love that shows up at 2 a.m. The kind of love that sits in hospital rooms for 6 months. The kind of love that literally gives bone and blood and cells to save another person. That love would carry them through tomorrow, and the day after, and all the days to come. Marcus looked at his sleeping daughter, 17 years old, bald from chemo, thin from months of treatment, but still beautiful, still brilliant, still his entire world. "Tomorrow, baby girl," he whispered. "Tomorrow we fight the biggest battle. Tomorrow I give you part of myself. Tomorrow we take the step that leads to your healing." He touched the DNA necklace that still hung around her neck, even while she slept. "You're going to beat this. You're going to become a doctor. You're going to find cures and save lives and change the world. I believe it with everything I am." Outside, Los Angeles slept. But in room 512 of the transplant unit, a father kept watch over his daughter. Present, committed, loving with every fiber of his being. He thought about June, about what she would say if she were here. She'd probably tell him he was doing great, that he'd finally figured out what mattered, that she was proud of the father he'd become. "I hope you're watching, June," Marcus whispered into the darkness. "Tomorrow, our daughter faces her biggest challenge. Please be with her, give her strength, help her fight." The hours passed slowly. Marcus didn't sleep. He just sat and watched and prayed and hoped. And when the sun finally began to rise on May 15th, the day of the transplant, Marcus stood up and stretched his stiff muscles. "Time to wake up, sweetheart," he said softly, touching Lily's shoulder. Lily's eyes opened. For a moment she looked confused. Then she remembered where she was and what day it was. "It's transplant day," she said. "It's transplant day," Marcus confirmed. Lily sat up slowly. She looked at her father, this man who had transformed over the past 6 months from an absent workaholic to a present, loving father. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Me too," Marcus said. "But we're going to do this together. My cells are going to become your cells, father and daughter, connected by bone and blood and love." "Connected by bone and blood and love," Lily repeated. "I like that." They hugged each other tight as nurses began arriving to start the day's procedures, as medical equipment was prepared, as the biggest battle of their lives began, but they were ready. They had each other, they had love, they had hope. And that belief would carry them through. No matter what came next, together, always together, he was finally truly there. And he was never leaving again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. This was his promise. This was his purpose. This was his life. Being present for his daughter, through whatever came next. Forever. December 15, 2021. Exactly 3 years after LeBron found Marcus crying in the closet. Lily Chen stood at a podium in the auditorium at UCLA, wearing a white lab coat over jeans and a purple sweater. Her hair had grown back, thick and dark, falling past her shoulders. She was 19 years old now, healthy and vibrant, a sophomore majoring in molecular biology with a focus on cancer genetics. The auditorium was packed with students, professors, and special guests. Today, Lily was presenting her research at the Undergraduate Research Symposium, a study on improving bone marrow transplant success rates through genetic matching refinements. In the front row sat Marcus, beaming with pride. Beside him was LeBron James, who'd flown in from wherever the Lakers were playing just to be here. Next to LeBron was Dr. Okonkwo, who'd become not just Lily's doctor but a mentor and friend. Lily took a deep breath and began. 3 years ago, I was dying, she said simply. I had acute myeloid leukemia. I'd been through 6 rounds of chemotherapy. My body was destroying itself, and my only chance at survival was a bone marrow transplant from my father. She clicked to the next slide, a photo of herself at 17, bald and thin in a hospital bed, wearing her Lakers jersey. This is me on May 15, 2019. The day of my transplant. I weighed 98 pounds. My immune system had been destroyed by conditioning chemotherapy. I was in isolation, terrified, and convinced I might not survive. The audience was completely silent, captivated. But I did survive, Lily continued. Thanks to incredible doctors, thanks to my father's perfect bone marrow match, and thanks to something science can't quite measure, love and support from people who refuse to give up on me. She clicked again. The next slide showed her 6 months later, hair starting to grow back, smiling at the camera. Then another, her 1-year cancer-free celebration. Then another, her first day at UCLA. Today, I'm 2.5 years cancer-free. By most medical standards, I'm considered cured. The cancer hasn't returned. My blood counts are normal. I'm healthy. The audience applauded, but Lily held up her hand. But here's what most people don't understand about bone marrow transplants, she said. Only about 70% of patients with good donor matches survive long-term. That means 3 out of 10 don't make it. 3 out of 10 families go through everything. The chemo, the surgery, the hope, only to lose their loved one anyway. Her voice became passionate. That's not good enough. We need to do better. And that's what my research is about, finding ways to improve those odds. Better genetic matching algorithms, earlier detection of rejection, personalized conditioning protocols based on genetic markers. She spent the next 15 minutes presenting her research, complex genetic data made accessible through clear explanations and visual aids. Lily had her mother's gift for communication and her father's work ethic. She'd spent countless hours in the lab, driven by the memory of other patients she'd met who hadn't survived. When she finished, the applause was thunderous. During the Q&A session, professors asked sophisticated questions about methodology and statistical significance. Lily answered each one confidently, her knowledge evident. After the presentation, people crowded around her, congratulating, asking follow-up questions, offering research opportunities. Marcus watched from the side, his heart nearly bursting with pride. This was his daughter, alive, thriving, brilliant, changing the world exactly as she'd promised. LeBron approached Marcus, his own eyes suspiciously wet. She's incredible, man, absolutely incredible. She is, Marcus agreed. Sometimes I still can't believe this is real, that she survived, that she's here doing this. It's real, LeBron said. You both made it real by refusing to give up. Dr. Okonkwo joined them, smiling broadly. That was one of the best undergraduate presentations I've seen in my 23 years at UCLA. Lily has a gift, not just for science, but for translating complex ideas into accessible language. She's going to be an amazing doctor. She wants to be like you, Marcus said, a pediatric oncologist who actually listens to patients and families. She'll be better than me, Dr. Okonkwo said warmly. She has the patient perspective. She knows what it's like from both sides. Eventually, the crowd thinned. Lily walked over to Marcus and LeBron, still flushed with excitement from the presentation. You came, she said to LeBron, hugging him. I know you had a game tomorrow. Wouldn't have missed it, LeBron said. Besides, the game can wait. This was more important. How'd I do, Dad? Lily asked Marcus. You were perfect, Marcus said, his voice thick with emotion. Your mom would be so proud. I'm so proud. They decided to get dinner together, the four of them, at a small Italian restaurant near campus that Lily loved. Over pasta and salad, they talked about Lily's research, her classes, her plans for medical school. "Have you decided where you're applying?" Dr. Okonkwo asked. "I'm thinking UCLA, Stanford, and Johns Hopkins," Lily said. "But honestly, I want to go wherever has the strongest pediatric oncology program. That's my passion." "All three have excellent programs," Dr. Okonkwo said. "And with your grades and research experience, you'll get in anywhere you apply." As they ate, Lily kept touching the DNA necklace she still wore every day, the one Marcus had given her before her last chemo treatment. It had become her talisman, a reminder of how far she'd come. "Can I ask you something, Lily?" LeBron said. "What was the hardest part of everything you went through?" Lily thought for a moment. "People think it was the physical stuff, the chemo, the nausea, losing my hair, and that was hard. But the hardest part was the uncertainty, not knowing if I'd survive, not knowing if all the suffering would be worth it, living in this limbo between hope and fear." She looked at her father. "Dad struggled with it too. I could see it in his eyes even when he was trying to be strong for me. The constant worry, is today the day we get bad news? Is this fever the one that will kill her? Will the transplant work?" "How did you cope with that uncertainty?" LeBron asked. "By focusing on the present," Lily said. "I learned that from Dad, actually. He used to live entirely in the future, working constantly, saving for disasters that might never come. But when I got sick, he learned to be present, to enjoy the moment we had rather than worrying about the moments we might not get." She smiled at Marcus. "He taught me that even when the future is uncertain, the present can still be beautiful. We had good days during treatment, days we'd go to the beach or make dumplings or just laugh together. Those days mattered, regardless of what came next." Marcus reached across the table and squeezed Lily's hand. "You taught me that, baby girl. You showed me how to live in the moment." After dinner, they walked through the UCLA campus. It was a beautiful December evening, cool but not cold, stars visible despite the Los Angeles light pollution. LeBron walked beside Marcus, both of them watching Lily and Dr. Okonkwo talking animatedly about cancer research up ahead. "Can I tell you something?" LeBron said quietly. "Of course." "That night I found you in the closet, I almost didn't stop. I was tired. I wanted to go home. And for a second I thought about just walking past, letting security handle it." Marcus looked at him, surprised. "Really?" "Really," LeBron admitted. "But then I heard the way you were crying, this deep, broken sound, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't walk away. Something told me to stop, to check on you, to see if you were okay." "I'm glad you listened to that something," Marcus said. "Me too," LeBron said. "Because meeting you and Lily changed my life. It reminded me why I have the platform I have, why I have the resources I have. Not just to play basketball, but to help people who need it." He paused. "I started a foundation because of you guys. The LeBron James Family Foundation Medical Fund. We've helped 43 families so far with medical debt related to serious illness. 43 families who were drowning like you were." Marcus stopped walking, stunned. "LeBron, I didn't know." "I kept it quiet," LeBron said. "Didn't want it to be about me or publicity. But I wanted you to know your story didn't just save your family. It's saving other families too. Your willingness to be vulnerable, to accept help, showed me how many people need that same help." Tears filled Marcus's eyes. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," LeBron replied. "Just keep being present for Lily. Keep being the dad you've become. That's enough." They caught up to Lily and Dr. Okonkwo at a bench overlooking the campus quad. The four of them sat together, enjoying the cool evening air. "You know what today is, don't you?" Lily said, looking at Marcus and LeBron. "December 15th, Marcus said. Then it hit him. 3 years exactly." 3 years since LeBron found you in that closet, Lily confirmed. 3 years since everything changed. "We should do something," LeBron said. "Make it a tradition. Every December 15th, we all get together and celebrate." "Celebrate what?" Dr. Okonkwo asked. "Celebrate showing up," Lily said. "Celebrate people choosing to help each other. Celebrate love being stronger than fear." "I like that," Marcus said. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, each lost in their own thoughts. Then Lily spoke again, her voice becoming more serious. "There's something I need to tell you," she said. "Something I've been keeping to myself. Something that makes our story even more complicated." Marcus felt a chill. "What is it?" Lily pulled out her phone and opened a document. "I've been writing about our experience, the cancer, the treatment, everything. It started as just journaling, a way to process what happened. But it became more than that. It became a story I think needs to be told." She handed her phone to Marcus. On the screen was a letter dated December 15, 2018, 3 years ago exactly. "Read it out loud, Dad," Lily said. Marcus began to read, his voice shaking. "Dear whoever finds this, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone. It means the cancer won. It means my dad is alone, and I need you to know something about him, about us, about the night of December 15th, 2018. Tonight, my dad went to a Lakers game. Not to enjoy it, but to have one last normal moment before coming home to tell me something terrible. He was going to tell me we had to stop treatment. Not because he doesn't love me. He loves me more than anything in the world. But because he couldn't afford to keep fighting. The medical bills were drowning us. His insurance wasn't covering enough. We were $80,000 in debt and getting deeper every day. He decided to give me a choice. Keep fighting with all the debt and pain, or stop treatment and spend whatever time I had left just living. He knew I'd choose to stop. I told him a week earlier that if the treatment was destroying him financially and emotionally, I'd rather have less time together than watch him sacrifice everything. So tonight, December 15th, 2018, was supposed to be the night everything changed. The night we gave up our fighting chance. The night we chose presence over survival because we thought we couldn't have both. But something happened. Someone heard my dad crying. Someone stopped. Someone showed up. If I'm gone and you're reading this, please find that person. Please thank them for trying. Thank them for giving us a few more months together. Thank them for showing my dad that asking for help wasn't weakness. Even if I didn't survive, those extra months were worth everything. Because my dad learned to be present. He learned to forgive himself. He learned to live, not just survive. So thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for not walking past. Thank you for seeing my dad's pain. Thank you for caring about strangers. You gave us time, real time, present time. And that's the greatest gift anyone could give. With gratitude, Lily Chen, written December 15, 2018, 11:43 p.m. Marcus's hands trembled as he finished reading. He looked up at Lily, his eyes streaming with tears. "You wrote this the night LeBron found me?" he asked. "Right after you left for work," Lily confirmed. "I knew what you were planning. I'd heard you on the phone with Dr. Okonkwo asking about stopping treatment. I knew you were going to give me a choice, and I knew what choice I'd make." She took a shaky breath. "I wrote that letter and sealed it in an envelope addressed to whoever finds this after I'm gone. I put it in my desk drawer just in case. I thought I might not make it." "Oh, Lily," Marcus whispered. "But here's the thing," Lily continued, pulling out an envelope from her bag. "I never threw it away. I kept it for 3 years. And tonight, on the 3-year anniversary of the night that changed everything, I wanted you both to know the complete truth." She looked at LeBron. "If you hadn't found my dad that night, if you hadn't stopped to listen, we would have given up. Not because we wanted to, but because we thought we had no other choice. You didn't just help us. You literally saved my life twice. Once by paying for treatment, and once by finding Dad before he came home to tell me to stop." LeBron was crying now too. "Lily, I didn't know. I had no idea how close." "No one knew except me," Lily said. "I never told anyone, not even Dad, that I knew what he was planning. I just wrote that letter in case I didn't make it, so someone would understand the full story." Dr. Okonkwo, who'd been silent during this revelation, spoke up. "That's why you asked me about stopping treatment that day, Marcus. I remember that phone call. You sounded so broken." "I was broken," Marcus admitted. "I thought I had to choose between time with Lily and treatment for Lily. I didn't realize I could have both until LeBron showed me it was possible." Lily stood up and walked to LeBron. She took both his hands in hers. "Thank you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for being someone who stops when they hear crying. Thank you for caring about a janitor you'd never met. Thank you for seeing us as humans, not just as problems to solve. Thank you for fighting, LeBron replied. Thank you for surviving. Thank you for becoming exactly who you promised you'd become. Lily turned to her father. And Dad, thank you for learning to be present. Thank you for becoming the father I always knew you could be. Thank you for giving me your bone marrow and your time and your complete attention. Marcus pulled Lily into a tight hug. You saved me too, baby girl. You showed me what matters. You taught me how to live. They all stood together. Marcus, Lily, LeBron, and Dr. Okonkwo, 4 people whose lives had intersected 3 years ago and had been forever changed by that intersection. So what do we do now? Dr. Okonkwo asked. With this letter, with this story. We share it, Lily said firmly. With your permission, LeBron, I want to write about our experience. I want people to know that someone heard my dad crying and chose to help. I want other families to know they're not alone. I want to change the system that forces people to choose between medical care and financial survival. You have my complete permission, LeBron said. In fact, I'll help however I can. We'll make sure this story reaches people who need to hear it. And we'll use it to push for policy changes, Marcus added. Better insurance coverage, medical debt forgiveness, support systems for families facing serious illness. I can help connect you with other oncologists and researchers who are working on these issues, Dr. Okonkwo offered. There's a whole community of people fighting to make cancer treatment more accessible. They spent the next hour sitting on that bench, planning how to turn their story into something that could help others. Lily would write it. LeBron would use his platform to amplify it. Marcus would speak to other families. Dr. Okonkwo would provide the medical perspective. As midnight approached, they finally stood to leave. They had plans to meet again next week to start working on the project, but tonight they just wanted to mark the anniversary. 3 years, Lily said, looking up at the stars. 3 years since the worst and best night of our lives. The night we almost gave up, and the night someone showed up to stop us. To showing up, LeBron said, raising an imaginary glass. To being present, Marcus added. To love being stronger than fear, Dr. Okonkwo said. To second chances, Lily finished, and to using those chances to help others. They all hugged goodbye, long, meaningful embraces between people who'd been through battle together and emerged stronger. As Marcus and Lily walked to their car, Lily took her father's hand. Did you ever imagine, she asked, that night 3 years ago when you were crying in that closet that we'd end up here, that I'd be healthy and in college and doing research, that LeBron would become family, that we'd be planning to change the world? Never, Marcus admitted. That night I thought we'd lost. I thought it was the end of hope. But it was really the beginning, Lily said. The beginning, Marcus agreed. They drove home through the Lowe's Angels night, the city lights sparkling around them. In the car, they were quiet, each processing the emotions of the day. When they got home to their apartment, the same apartment in Boyle Heights they'd lived in for years, Marcus made tea while Lily changed into pajamas. They sat together on the couch, sipping tea and looking at old photos on Lily's phone. Photos from the hospital, photos from the beach. Photos from her first day of college. Dad, Lily said quietly. Yeah, baby. I'm glad we didn't give up. I'm glad LeBron found you. I'm glad we fought. Me too, Marcus said. Every single day, I'm grateful we kept fighting. Do you ever think about what would have happened if we'd stopped treatment? Lily asked. Sometimes, Marcus admitted. But then I stopped myself, because we didn't stop. We're here. You're alive. That's all that matters. Lily rested her head on her father's shoulder. I love you, Dad. I love you more than words can say, Marcus replied. They sat together in their small living room, father and daughter, survivors of a battle that had nearly destroyed them but ultimately made them stronger. Outside, Lowe's Angels slept. But inside apartment 3C, 2 people who'd learned the value of presence sat together, fully alive, fully present, fully grateful. 3 years ago, Marcus had been crying in a closet, convinced he was losing everything. Tonight, he sat with his healthy daughter, planning to help other families, surrounded by love and hope and possibility. The journey had been brutal, the fear had been real, the pain had been overwhelming, but they'd made it through together. And they would spend the rest of their lives making sure other families could make it through too, because someone had stopped to listen when Marcus cried. Someone had chosen to help when they could have walked away. Someone had shown up. and that had made all the difference. Through whatever came next, forever, he was finally truly there, and he was never leaving again, not now, not ever. This was his life, this was his purpose, this was love made visible through presence, and it was beautiful. December 15, 2024, 6 years after the night that changed everything. The new auditorium at Children's Hospital Los Angeles was packed with families, doctors, nurses, and donors. The room buzzed with anticipation as people took their seats. At the front of the room, a large banner hung from the ceiling, the Lily Chen Foundation Grand Opening Celebration. Backstage, Lily Chen stood in front of a mirror, adjusting her white doctor's coat. At 21 years old, she was in her second year of medical school at UCLA, already making waves with her research on improving cancer treatment accessibility. Her hair was long now, pulled back in a professional ponytail. The DNA necklace still hung around her neck. She never took it off. "You ready?" Marcus asked, walking up behind her. "Nervous," Lily admitted. "There are over 300 people out there." "You've presented to packed auditoriums before," Marcus reminded her. "This is different," Lily said. "This is personal, this is our story." Marcus squeezed her shoulder. "And it's a story worth telling. We're going to help so many families today." There was a knock on the door. LeBron walked in, now 40 years old and in his 22nd NBA season. He was still playing, still competing, but he'd expanded his focus beyond basketball. His foundation work had grown exponentially over the past 6 years. "The crowd is incredible," LeBron said. "I just met a family from San Diego. Their 10-year-old daughter has leukemia. When they heard about the foundation, they drove 2 hours to be here." "That's why we're doing this," Lily said, her nervousness transforming into determination. A stage manager poked her head in. "5 minutes, everyone." Lily took a deep breath. She looked at her reflection one more time, then at the 2 men who'd been by her side through everything. "Let's go change some lives," she said. They walked out onto the stage together. The applause was thunderous. Families stood, many wiping tears even before anyone spoke. Dr. Okonkwo was already on stage, serving as the event's master of ceremonies. She'd retired from full-time practice but remained involved with the foundation as its medical director. "Welcome," Dr. Okonkwo said into the microphone. "Welcome to the grand opening of the Lily Chen Foundation Medical Assistance Center. This facility represents hope, healing, and the power of one person choosing to help another." She gestured to Lily, Marcus, and LeBron. 6 years ago, these 3 people's lives intersected in an unexpected way. A janitor crying in a closet, a basketball player who stopped to listen, a teenage girl fighting for her life. What happened next changed not just their lives, but the lives of hundreds of families facing similar struggles. Dr. Okonkwo stepped aside and Lily approached the microphone. The room fell silent. "My name is Lily Chen," she began. 6 years ago today, I was 16 years old and dying of leukemia. My father was working 3 jobs to pay medical bills we couldn't afford. We were drowning in debt, drowning in fear, and running out of options. She clicked to a slide, the photo of herself at 17, bald and thin in the hospital bed. "This was me, 98 pounds, barely alive. My father and I were so desperate that we were planning to stop treatment, not because we wanted to give up, but because we thought we had no choice." The room was completely still. Parents held their children closer, doctors leaned forward. "But on December 15, 2018, something happened," Lily continued. "LeBron James heard my father crying in an empty arena, and instead of walking past, instead of ignoring someone else's pain, he stopped. He listened. He helped." She looked at LeBron, her eyes shining with gratitude. "He paid our medical bills. He gave my dad time off work to be with me. He showed up to my chemotherapy sessions. He reminded us we weren't alone." Click, the next slide showed Lily and Marcus at the beach laughing. "Because of LeBron's help, I received the treatment I needed. I had a bone marrow transplant. I fought through months of recovery, and today I'm 6 years cancer-free." The applause was deafening, but Lily held up her hand. "But here's the thing, I'm one of the lucky ones. For every story like mine, there are dozens that end differently. Families who can't afford treatment. Children who die because their parents can't pay for experimental drugs. Parents who work themselves to death trying to save their kids." Her voice grew passionate. "That's not okay, that's not acceptable, that's why we're here today." She gestured to the building around them. The Lily Chen Foundation Medical Assistance Center will provide financial help to families facing catastrophic medical bills. But more than that, we'll provide support, counselors who understand the emotional toll, navigators who help families understand their options, and connections to clinical trials and experimental treatments. Click. The next slide listed statistics. In our first year, we aim to help 200 families. We've already raised $12 million in donations. We have partnerships with 15 hospitals across California. This foundation exists because one person chose to stop and help, Lily said. And now, we're going to make sure hundreds more families receive that same help. She stepped back and Marcus approached the microphone. He looked older than his 58 years. The stress of Lily's illness had aged him, but his eyes were bright and clear. "My name is Marcus Chen," he said. "I'm Lily's father, and 6 years ago I was the most terrified person in the world." He told their story, the fear, the debt, the desperation. He talked about crying in that closet, about planning to tell Lily to stop treatment, about feeling like he'd failed as a father. "But then LeBron found me," Marcus said. "And he didn't just give us money. He gave us something more valuable. He gave us hope. He reminded me that I didn't have to carry everything alone. He showed me that asking for help wasn't weakness, it was wisdom." Marcus's voice broke with emotion. "Because of his help, I got to be present for my daughter. I got to hold her hand through treatment. I got to celebrate when she got into UCLA. I got to walk her to her first day of medical school. I got to have these last 6 years with her, and they've been the best years of my life." He looked directly at the families in the audience. If you're here today because your child is sick, if you're drowning in medical debt, if you're wondering how you'll survive this, I want you to know something. You're not alone. This foundation exists for you. We're going to help you the way LeBron helped us. The applause was mixed with tears now. Parents hugged each other. Children who'd been through treatment themselves stood and clapped. Finally, LeBron stepped to the microphone. The crowd noise reached a crescendo. Many of these people had never seen him in person before. "Thank you," LeBron said, waiting for the noise to settle. "But I need to be clear about something. I'm not the hero of this story. Marcus and Lily are." He gestured to them. "Marcus is the hero for learning to be present, for giving his daughter his bone marrow, for transforming his fear into love. Lily is the hero for fighting through treatment, for surviving when the odds weren't guaranteed, for dedicating her life to helping others." LeBron's voice was thick with emotion. "I just had resources, money to pay bills, connections to doctors, a platform to raise awareness. That's all. The real heroism was their courage, their refusal to give up, their determination to turn their suffering into something meaningful." He paused. 6 years ago, I made a decision that took about 10 seconds. I heard someone crying and I chose to stop and check on them. 10 seconds. That's how long it took to change the trajectory of multiple lives." LeBron looked directly at the audience. "Every single person in this room has the power to make that same choice. You don't need money or fame or connections. You just need to notice when someone's struggling and choose to help. That's how we change the world, one person stopping to help another." He stepped back and Dr. Okonkwo returned to the microphone. "We have something special planned," she said. "This foundation will help families financially, but we wanted to do something more, something to honor the journey Marcus and Lily have been on." The lights dimmed, and a video began to play on the screen. It showed interviews with families the foundation had already helped during its pilot phase. A mother in San Bernardino whose son had brain cancer. The foundation paid for his experimental treatment. A father in Oakland whose daughter needed a kidney transplant. The foundation covered the costs insurance wouldn't. A family in San Diego with twins who both had leukemia. The foundation paid their rent for 6 months so the parents could focus on the kids. One by one, these families appeared on screen, telling their stories, thanking the foundation, showing photos of their now healthy children. The final segment showed a surprise. It was a video message from Gloria James, LeBron's mother. "I raised LeBron alone," Gloria said on screen. "We struggled, we were poor, we didn't always know where our next meal would come from. But people helped us, coaches, teachers, families who took us in. Without that help, LeBron wouldn't be who he is today. She smiled at the camera. What my son did for Marcus and Lily is what people did for us. It's what we're supposed to do for each other. And now, watching this foundation help other families, I'm reminded that kindness multiplies. One act of compassion creates ripples that spread far beyond what we can see. The video ended and the lights came back up. There wasn't a dry eye in the auditorium. Dr. Okonkwo returned to the microphone. And now, the moment we've been waiting for. Lily, Marcus, LeBron, would you please cut the ribbon and officially open the Lily Chen Foundation Medical Assistance Center? They walked to the front of the building's main entrance, where a large purple ribbon stretched across the doorway. Purple, of course, for Lily's favorite color. They were handed oversized scissors. Together, Lily said, the three of them, patient, father, and benefactor, cut the ribbon simultaneously. It fell away and the doors opened. The crowd erupted in applause. After the ceremony, the foundation hosted a reception. Families toured the facility, offices where financial counselors would help navigate medical bills, a resource library full of information about different cancers and treatments, a comfortable waiting area designed to feel more like a living room than a hospital, and private consultation rooms where families could talk with navigators about their options. Lily found herself surrounded by people, patients who'd survived cancer, parents who were currently fighting it, doctors who wanted to partner with the foundation, donors who wanted to contribute. A woman approached Lily with a teenage boy beside her. The boy was thin, wearing a baseball cap that likely covered hair loss from chemotherapy. Lily, the woman said, I'm Sarah Martinez and this is my son Daniel. He has AML, same as you had. Daniel looked at Lily with a mixture of hope and fear in his eyes. Did it hurt? The transplant. Lily knelt down to Daniel's level. It did hurt. I'm not going to lie to you, but you know what hurt more? Being scared and feeling alone. The physical pain goes away, but having people by your side makes all of it bearable. I'm scared, Daniel admitted. That's okay, Lily said. Being scared means you understand what you're facing. But Daniel, look around this room. See all these people. Every single one of them is here because they want to help you. You're not fighting alone. She took off her DNA necklace, the one she'd worn every day for over 6 years, and held it out to Daniel. What's this? He asked. It's a reminder, Lily said. A reminder that science is unlocking the secrets to beating cancer. A reminder that you have good DNA, strong DNA, fighting DNA. I wore this through my entire treatment. Now I want you to have it. I can't take this, Daniel protested. It's yours. Now it's yours, Lily said firmly. And when you beat cancer, which you will, you can pass it on to someone else who needs hope. That's how we do this. We hold on to hope, then we pass it forward. Daniel put on the necklace with shaking hands. His mother, Sarah, was crying. Thank you, Sarah whispered to Lily. You have no idea what this means. I do know, Lily said, standing up. I've been exactly where you are, and I'm here to tell you there's hope. There's help. You're going to make it through this. Across the room, Marcus was talking to another father, a man named James whose daughter had just been diagnosed with leukemia. How did you do it? James asked. How did you stay strong when she was so sick? I didn't always stay strong, Marcus admitted. Some days I fell apart, but I learned something important. You don't have to be strong every second. You just have to show up, be present, hold their hand. That's all your daughter needs from you. What about the medical bills? James asked. I'm already $30,000 in debt and we've barely started treatment. That's exactly why we built this foundation, Marcus said. Come to the office on Monday. Our financial counselors will help you navigate the bills, find assistance programs, maybe even cover some costs directly. You don't have to drown in debt while your daughter is fighting for her life. James's eyes filled with tears. I've been working double shifts. My wife works nights. We're never home together. Our daughter asks why we're never there, and I don't know how to explain that we're working to keep her alive. Stop, Marcus said firmly. Stop right now. Go home, be with your daughter. Let us help with the financial part. Your daughter doesn't need you to work yourself to death. She needs you present. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. Nearby, LeBron was talking to a group of doctors from various hospitals who wanted to partner with the foundation. "What made you decide to do this?" one doctor asked. "You could have just written a check and moved on. Why build an entire foundation?" "Because one family's not enough," LeBron said. "When I helped Marcus and Lily, I realized there were thousands of families in the same situation. I had the resources to help, so I had the responsibility to help." "But how do you choose?" another doctor asked. "How do you decide which families to help when there are so many in need?" "We don't choose," LeBron said. "If a family qualifies, if they're facing catastrophic medical debt related to serious illness, we help them, period. That's what the donations are for. That's what this whole operation is about." He looked around the room at all the families who'd come seeking help. "Every single person here deserves a fighting chance. Every child deserves treatment that isn't limited by their parents' bank account. If we can provide that, even for a fraction of families, we're making a difference." As the evening wound down, Lily, Marcus, LeBron, and Dr. Okonkwo found a quiet corner away from the crowd. "We did it," Lily said, looking around at the foundation's space. "We actually built something real." "You built something real," LeBron corrected. "This was your vision, your passion project. I just provided funding." "It took all of us," Dr. Okonkwo said. "Lily's passion, Marcus's story, LeBron's resources, and all the doctors and counselors and volunteers who believed in the mission." Marcus pulled out his phone and opened a photo album. "Can I show you something?" He pulled up a photo from December 15, 2018, the night LeBron found him in the closet. Someone had taken a security camera screenshot, showing Marcus sitting on the floor, LeBron sitting on the bucket, both of them talking. "This is where it all started," Marcus said. 6 years ago tonight, in a janitor's closet at Staples Center." "Look how far we've come," Lily marveled. "Look how far you've come," LeBron said. "From that closet to this foundation, from desperation to hope, from one family's struggle to help for hundreds of families." Dr. Okonkwo raised her water glass. "To December 15, 2018, the night that changed everything." "To showing up," Marcus added. "To being present," Lily said. "To love being stronger than fear," LeBron finished. They clinked glasses, 4 people bound together by circumstance and choice, by crisis and compassion. "What's next?" Dr. Okonkwo asked. "Now that the foundation is open, what's the next goal?" "Medical school for me," Lily said. "Then residency in pediatric oncology. I want to be on the front lines, treating kids and doing research." "Expansion for the foundation," Marcus said. "We're starting in California, but families across the country need help. I want to see Lily Chen Foundation centers in every major city." "I'm retiring from basketball after next season," LeBron announced. This was news to everyone. 23 years is enough. I want to focus full-time on foundation work, this one and others. I want to spend my retirement helping people." "That's not retiring," Lily laughed. "That's just changing careers." "True," LeBron admitted. "But it's the career I'm meant for. Basketball gave me a platform. Now I want to use that platform for something bigger." They talked for another hour, planning the future, remembering the past, celebrating the present. Eventually, families started leaving. Parents shook Marcus's hand, thanking him for his honesty about the struggle. Patients hugged Lily, thanking her for the hope. Everyone wanted a photo with LeBron. As the last families left, Lily stood in the empty foundation center, looking around at everything they'd built. "Mom would be proud," she said quietly. Marcus came and stood beside her. "She would be. You're exactly who she hoped you'd become. Strong, compassionate, brilliant, and using your gifts to help others." "We should go to her grave," Lily said. "Tomorrow, tell her about the foundation." "She knows," Marcus said. "But yes, let's go. I haven't visited in a while." LeBron joined them, putting his arms around both their shoulders. "You know what strikes me about all this?" "What?" Lily asked. 6 years ago, we were 3 strangers," LeBron said. "A janitor, a basketball player, and a teenage girl. We had nothing in common except that we were all in that building on the same night." "And now we're family," Marcus said. "Exactly," LeBron agreed. "Not blood family, but chosen family. The kind you build through showing up, through caring, through refusing to let each other fight alone." "The best kind of family," Lily said. They stood together in the foundation center, surrounded by the physical manifestation of their shared journey, from crisis to healing to helping others heal. "I need to tell you both something," Lily said suddenly. "Something I've been waiting for the right moment to say." Marcus and LeBron looked at her, curious. "When I was sick, when I thought I might die, I made myself a promise," Lily said. "I promised that if I survived, I wouldn't waste my second chance. I'd use my life to make a difference." "You've absolutely done that," LeBron said. "But there's more," Lily continued. "I promised myself that I'd find a way to say thank you, really thank you, for what you both did for me." She pulled 2 small boxes from her pocket. "I had these made." Marcus opened his box first. Inside was a silver bracelet engraved with coordinates, the exact latitude and longitude of the janitor's closet at what was now Cryptocom Arena. "Where it all began," Lily said. LeBron opened his box to find an identical bracelet. "So that you both remember," Lily said, her voice thick with emotion. "You remember that one moment of compassion created all of this. That one choice to stop and help changed multiple lives. That presence and love and refusing to walk past someone's pain matters more than anything." Both men put on their bracelets, both fighting tears. "I don't deserve this," Marcus said. "I'm your father. Being there for you was my job." "You do deserve it," Lily insisted. "Because you didn't just show up because you had to. You chose to transform. You chose to become the father I needed. That's not obligation, that's love." She turned to LeBron. "And you had no obligation to us at all. You could have walked past that closet. You could have sent someone else to check. You could have written a check and never thought about us again. But you didn't. You stayed. You cared. You became family." "You made it easy to care," LeBron said. "You're both incredible people." They group hugged, the 3 of them standing in the center of the foundation that bore Lily's name, wearing matching bracelets that marked the coordinates of a janitor's closet where everything changed. "Promise me something," Lily said. "Anything," Marcus and LeBron said together. "Promise me we'll never forget what brought us here," Lily said. "Not the cancer, I'd love to forget that part, but the lesson that showing up matters. That presence is powerful, that we're supposed to help each other." "Promise," Marcus said. "Promise," LeBron echoed. "And promise me," Lily continued, "that no matter where life takes us, med school for me, retirement for LeBron, whatever comes next for Dad, we'll stay family. We'll keep showing up for each other." "Always," Marcus said. "Forever," LeBron agreed. They left the foundation center together, turning off lights, locking doors, heading out into the December night. 6 years ago, they'd been strangers brought together by crisis. Now they were family, bound together by choice. 6 years ago, Marcus had been crying in a closet, convinced he was losing everything. Now he walked beside his healthy daughter and his unlikely best friend, having helped build something that would save countless families. 6 years ago, Lily had been dying, convinced she'd never see her 18th birthday. Now she was 21, thriving in medical school on her way to becoming the doctor she'd always dreamed of being. 6 years ago, LeBron had been a basketball player who almost walked past a crying janitor. Now he was a father figure to Lily, a brother to Marcus, and the founder of a foundation that would change thousands of lives. All because of 10 seconds. 10 seconds when LeBron heard crying and chose to stop. That's all it took to change everything. 10 seconds of compassion. 10 seconds of presence. 10 seconds of refusing to walk past someone else's pain. And from those 10 seconds came 6 years of transformation, healing, growth, and purpose. From those 10 seconds came a family. From those 10 seconds came a foundation that would help hundreds of families. From those 10 seconds came proof that one person showing up can change the world. As they walked to their cars, Lily looked up at the December sky. Somewhere up there, her mother was watching, proud, happy, grateful. "I love you, Mom," Lily whispered to the stars. "We're doing it. We're living the life you wanted for us, fully, joyfully, presently." Marcus heard her and squeezed her hand. "She knows, baby girl, she knows." They got in their cars, Marcus and Lily in one, LeBron in another, and drove off into the Lowe's Angels night. Behind them, the Lily Chen Foundation Medical Assistance Center stood illuminated, a beacon of hope for families who felt like they were drowning. Inside that building tomorrow, counselors would help desperate parents navigate medical bills. Navigators would connect families to clinical trials and experimental treatments. Financial advisors would provide grants to cover costs insurance wouldn't. And scared children would look at photos of Lily, healthy, alive, thriving, and believe that survival was possible. All because 6 years ago someone heard crying and chose to stop. All because presence proved more powerful than money. All because love refused to walk past pain. This was the legacy of that night in the closet. Not just one family saved, but hundreds to come. Not just one life changed, but thousands touched. Not just one moment of compassion, but a movement of hope. This was love made visible through presence, and it was beautiful. More than beautiful, it was everything. So now you know the incredible true story of how LeBron James heard a janitor crying and changed a family forever. One moment of compassion, one choice to stop and help, and it created ripples that are still spreading today. Where are you watching this from? Drop your city and country in the comments below. We love hearing from viewers all around the world. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button. It helps us spread these stories of kindness and hope to more people who need to hear them. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another inspiring story like this one. When we share stories of compassion, we remind each other what's possible when we choose to help. There's another incredible story waiting for you right now. Just click on the video appearing on your screen. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have the power to change someone's life. Sometimes it just starts with stopping to listen. See you in the next story.